is Tuesday, July the 14th, 2009, and you are listening to the Giant Bombcast. I'm your host, Ryan Davis, joined by Brad Shoemaker and Jeff Gerstmann.
Hello.
And filling in seat number 4 is our very special guest, Dave Snyder. Dave, how you doing?
Yo, 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 I'm doing excellent, my friend.
Now, I figure we should start off by asking Brad, how was your weekend?
Not ready for any questions right now.
All right, F you, Brad.
It was good. Let's move on.
Jeff and Dave and myself had, I think, a pretty kick-ass Saturday, at least. I don't know how your Sundays went.
Oh,
I slept,
Yeah.
did lots of sleeping.
Sunday went a little rough.
Saturday we got up bright and early and drove down to Santa Clara for California Extreme.
That's right. We did all the wind parasailing and hacky sack surfing.
Like, California Games, it's like that, but it's all done on a bungee cord.
Fueled by dew.
Yeah.
Yep.
As much ado slamming as you can
Absolutely,
handle.
that and pound cake.
What California Extreme actually is I guess a show. What would you call that? An event?
An expo?
An expo?
I want to call it like a festival. It felt more like a festival vibe to me. Like there were people selling wares.
But it's all for classic arcade games
wares
and
with an S,
pinball
right?
machines.
Yeah.
So it's all
Well,
old,
who knows?
hot coin-op action.
Like some of those
And,
pictures you guys brought back, it looked a little gray market in there.
No, there was
shady.
only like one table where they were selling stuff, but it was like manuals and like marquee stuff. Like it was all kind of on the up and up. It was just when you have a whole bunch of used joystick parts to sell, it's not like there's a classy way to show that.
Yeah,
It's like,
I mean, they've
here's
got
a bunch of
Rust.
joysticks. We've got them if you want it. It's like $5.
They had a bunch of like boxes full, like here's some pinball rails and ramps and stuff. I don't know what it goes to, or maybe the guys totally did.
We did-
Maybe I pulled
we
it out and
did-
go, well, if you've got a high speed machine, that's the left return lane, outer edge.
We did overhear a guy excitedly talking about, check out these rails.
Yeah. Which in any other dark loud room would have meant something completely different.
So that was what was great about it, is that it was, there's a million things that were great about it, but it was loud and dark. Like they
Very
had
loud,
it, they had
very
it in
dark.
this ballroom at the Hyatt Regency in Santa Clara, right down the street from the Great America.
Near the airport.
Yeah, the Hyatt near the airport.
There was a wedding going on at
There
the
was
time.
a wedding reception happening in one of the
They
other
must have been
ballrooms.
stoked.
Yeah, absolutely. All these weird, sweaty nerds in Bahamas shirts and video game novelty T-shirts.
All right, hold up. What's the difference between a Bahama shirt and a Hawaiian shirt? Like, what are you talking about when you say Bahama shirt?
It's a
I think
Bahamas
it's an
shirt,
age
it's a
difference.
Hawaiian shirt.
I think one is really faded out. Like I look at a Bahama shirt, it's really faded out.
It's your
Hawaiian shirt's
dad's
bright.
vacation shirt.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Definitely.
So,
Well,
so
you know what? I think
a lot of guys in
Hawaiian
Hawaiian
shirts,
shirts.
And Acapulco shirts mean the same thing.
Acapulco.
I mean, the
Do
same
you,
thing.
do you
as-
have any Acapulco shirts?
No,
We should get some.
I agree.
And then we should get some.
So listen, but here's my favorite part of the whole weekend was Ryan, Jeff, and I are totally walking down this hallway, and then these 4 like drunkish ladies in waiting, or what do you call the
Bridesmaids.
bridesmaids? Totally walk by. They're
I don't
like, look at all the geeks, like saying it real under their breath, and we're like, yes, you're about to see a lot more.
And I was like, look at the fat girls that crammed their way into a dress to come to this pathetic wedding.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, yeah, it was hardcore. It was exactly the people that you would expect to show up at a classic arcade expo.
Were there a lot of bald heads with salt and pepper ponytails?
Yep,
Yes,
you know
it.
absolutely.
Ask me how many beards there were.
Straw
Infinite
hats.
beards.
Oh, I didn't even get to ask.
Oh, man.
All the beards in the world.
We've
there any-
reached infinite. It might as well have been a beard show along with, like, on the side or
Dude,
something.
you got 2 expos for the price of 1.
Yeah.
It was, the people that were there were
I
breathtaking.
shaved that morning.
But what
on
was
principle.
what was really awesome is just how many machines hundreds of machines that were set up there for free play. You pay like $35 to get in the door,
Wait,
and then
there was no coin insertion
No,
happening at
no,
this
none.
thing?
you pay
Really?
money. You pay money at the door, and
Oh,
then
wow.
everything's free.
No kidding.
Absolutely.
So, and these are all I think it's pretty much stuff coming from private collectors, like that people come and show
Yeah, it was
stuff
just,
off.
I think it's just like a group of dudes that are like, hey, why don't we put on a thing? We got all these arcade machines that no one ever plays because they just sit in public storage
Right.
lockers or sit in our basements or whatever. How about we bring them out and show them the way they were meant to be shown, so that kids can ruin them.
Were there actually any kids there, or was it all like
A few.
people
Yeah.
over the age of 30?
I'd say there were plenty of kids there. Yeah,
There were.
there were more than I expected, and all of them wanted to play the grid.
The grid was
Yes,
they had a six,
absolutely.
they had a
I
six
totally
machine-
noticed that.
The grid apparently should have come out at home, or I don't know what they should have done, but that game looked hugely successful
Yeah,
to me.
I couldn't get on it.
Six machine linked up for playing
Yeah.
the grid. You know what I think it is, and I did notice that it was a lot of the younger kids that were playing it. I think it was just the game that most resembled
exactly.
what games they know out
Totally.
of everything that was there.
They're like, this
It's
is
I don't know what
it's
this
like it's
vector
like Call
thing
of Duty,
is.
but I don't know what the hell these dudes are. But whatever, I roll the ball and I shoot, and yeah, totally.
The funniest thing I saw with the no coins aspect of it was like you had the protocol of like, well, what should I play again? Like when you finish the game, you did the quick like peek over your shoulder. You know,
Like, is anyone waiting?
Can I still play another game of Major Havoc like the third time in a row? I'm totally doing it.
Guys, that was your go-to game.
It was. I totally made
Major Havoc, old vector-based game.
I did the loops, like you do, like this figure 8 loop around
Yep.
the whole thing. You know, you just try to see, does the game? Can I finally get on hook the pinball game?
Right,
And-
so it was pretty packed. It was a pretty decent crowd when we went, and I think we went at the peak around Saturday afternoon when the most people were there.
It started thinning out later in the day, but yeah,
It
for
definitely
sure.
did, but we were too exhausted at that point.
Oh,
But it was laid out where like each area was. The games were actually really well laid out, where you had like all the vector games in one spot. like,
Everything was grouped really nicely.
to the degree where we were all using like inside names for which part of the place we were at.
So
It's like,
he's over in Vector Alley.
yeah, Vector Alley. So he's probably in Vector Alley. Oh, he's in Pinball Square.
But there's all these weird, like it was all these strange cul-de-sacs where you could not even, like you could walk around that room several times and totally miss, like, oh, there's this whole section over here with all these machines that you didn't see before.
Yeah.
So you'd be there for hours and then suddenly see a machine for the first time.
They were selling some of those machines, weren't they?
They were. A small percentage, I'd say, of the machines were for sale. I was courting a Missile Command cocktail cabinet
That's a sit down.
pretty hard. Yeah. Sit down, like, 2 players facing each other. It was selling for $400, and then at one point the dude added a or best offer tag on the price, and I'm like, oh, how can I not? So I tried, but someone else beat me to it, which is probably ultimately for the best. Jeff, you were thinking about getting that black hole pinball machine pretty hard.
yeah, that looked like it was in pretty good shape. Guy wanted about $800 for it.
The flipper action wasn't great, but
Those
everything else seemed
Gottlieb
really good.
machines, the flippers are different from what you're used to.
No, I know,
So
but
that's
even
part of
still,
it.
like I think the left one just wasn't flipping right, but.
Yeah.
Like the other stuff, like the swirling background was working right, and it seemed like the
The
lower
machine
level
itself
stuff.
was like super clean. Like
Yeah.
it was a pretty impressive. It's a pretty impressive piece.
a nice table.
Yeah, it was a nice table. It was a nice pin.
I have
That was when I realized that I was in it. Was when I called the guy who owned the Missile Command machine because he just had like his number written on a little tag on the machine. And I said, anything I should know about it? Like, why are you getting rid of it? And he said, it's been in my collection for like 10 years. I'm moving on to pins. So, got to clear out some space.
That's classic.
Yeah. Like,
I have to ask a question.
belly of the beast.
Do you own any cocktail machines, Jeff?
I don't.
I assume you don't, Dave. I've
No,
been in
but
your
I've,
house.
I've
haven't-
always
I-
wanted
I've-
to get the classic Galaga.
I used to
combo.
have access to a Moon Cresta cocktail.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what
Yeah.
that is.
It's shooter, space shooter.
My question about owning a cocktail machine is: do you eat on it?
No, I'd have
You
drinks,
don't-
though.
You'd put some kind of beverage or food product on there.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it's
mean,
glass.
you consider it table space.
Yeah.
Not. It's
apparently-
not.
I'm not going to replace my coffee table with it or
The
anything.
machine is not sacrosanct or anything. Like
Apparently,
you're gonna-
cocktail is for betting.
Yeah,
That's what you do. It's a perfect place to throw your money down and bet.
It's
in a
way
game.
easier for you to put dollar bills, as we learned from the 4 extremely bald gentlemen that were betting money on a game of Warlords at a
Which is a
cocktail
pretty
Warlords
sweet game to
machine.
bet on.
Yeah. There was just like a couple of bucks just sitting on there. Like, way to go, guys.
The best part about it was that you felt intimidated. Like you did not want to walk up to that table and like try to jump in because they would totally beat your ass.
I was pretty good at Warlords for a time, but yeah, those guys look a little too serious
taking it to another level.
for sure.
Did you see anybody from King of Kong walking around?
No, sadly,
No.
no
Nobody-
recognizable faces.
Nobody announcing any Donkey Kong kill screens.
no, nothing.
I saw a guy get over $1 billion on Theater of Magic, the pinball machine, but I think that was the only real
We saw
performance thing that impressed me.
We saw some cool stuff where the coolest thing was you just see like one of the machines would go down, and you'd suddenly see like 3 guys just immediately ripping it apart. And it was just kind of cool to see, a certain game would go down for a little bit. Like the Gallagher machine was down.
Yeah,
for a bit.
Gallagher machine is down for most of the time.
And then it was back up. And, like, those guys were really, like, for the most part, on the ball. Like, every one of those that I saw that was down, for the most part, came back up.
Yes, these are old machines. We're talking, 20, 30-year-old arcade machines.
And they had a computer space machine there. It was serious business.
They had, like the oldest machines.
Just missing the model that stands next
yeah,
to it.
exactly.
I tried playing that computer space game. It was pretty messed up though. Like something wrong with the ROMs or something because the screen was.
I don't even know if that stuff has ROMs. It might just be like all discrete. Well, no, I guess that would have to be ROMs. But stuff like Pong and stuff like that, they're discrete circuits instead of actually programmed.
Oh wow,
stuff
just hardwired into the madness. Yeah, it was an awesome time. Awesome time was had by all.
And this is an annual thing?
Yeah, this is. I've actually heard about this in the past, but I never made it out. I guess talked to a few people, and it sounded like this was better than it has been in years past. I don't know if that just means in terms of turnout or the games that they were showing, but yeah, it was basically the best arcade that you've ever been to. Like, it was just huge, and everything was free, and...
I don't know, man. I went to the Disneyland arcade once, and I went to the world-famous Pac-Man arcade in Pasadena, California once.
Yeah, there were
Twice.
more working arcade games at California Extreme than at either of those.
Yeah,
That's
you're
the thing
right.
is, like, you see machines were down, but any arcade I've ever been into will have some percentage of machines that just straight up don't work.
There was a Robotron machine there that just had a piece of paper on it that said joystick broken.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, great.
Which, you gotta roll with it because these are old pieces of hardware. That's not surprising that stuff breaks. They were also having some seminar, talks being given. Like some old pinball designers. The guy who runs MAME was giving a talk.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some old Atari guys were talking.
Al Alcorn was there talking.
Yeah.
Steve Ritchie, the pinball designer, was there talking. Yeah, it was cool.
It was a
very
lot of
cool.
fun. It was a lot better than we thought it would be,
Yeah, I
would think.
Yeah.
I could tell you guys really liked it by how little mocking of it you're doing.
It's very easy to the caliber of nerds that were there are exactly so many of the pompous IT guy
Comic book store
syndrome
guy.
of I'm very good at this and I'm going to be real buddy with you over this.
I think the best description of how we can describe how cool it was that the three of us walked in there and did the walk around in the first 5 minutes, and then each gave each other the eyes all right, there are a lot of games. We need to split up. I don't want to sit and watch you play some game. I'm totally going over there. So I can play Tail Gunner.
We weren't even done with the first walkthrough, and you guys stopped to play Street Fighter. I'm like, okay, F you guys, I'm gone.
Oh, so they had stuff that modern then. This is not all.
They actually had some weird new stuff. They had a Space Invaders Extreme machine and a Street Fighter HD Remix machine.
Wow.
Which they did not produce in arcade form, so it's just someone built weird
That's
cabinets
super
for
weird.
it.
Yeah, I was
I think Foundation 9 was talking there too, so they probably I'm sure that they just brought those.
So this is for all ages then.
Yeah.
I was
I'd say
envisioning
so.
a cutoff of 1985 or something for machines.
No. I mean, they had Roller Coaster Tycoon, the pinball machine, which is relatively recent.
Okay.
Stern made. I think 24 was there.
That was on the list.
It was on the list. It was on the list. I don't know if I actually saw it, but
there were some discrepancies between the listed games and what was
but
actually
yeah,
there.
recent pinball releases were certainly there.
Yeah.
The Sopranos machine was there, but then Blitz 2000 was there, which is still relatively recent. No Mortal Kombat there at all.
Yeah.
Not a real big Capcom CPS2 presence or anything like that.
It was very much American-made arcade games seemed to be the real focus. A lot of just kind of classic, late 70s, early 80s stuff. They definitely had stuff that outlined that a bit.
Yeah, because I mean, it's they had Rally X, they had Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. and
Donkey Kong 2.
They had some weird ROM hack Donkey Kong 2 thing. That I guess it's actually more than a ROM hack because it has all 4 of the original screens plus 4 new ones, and the 4 new ones are just impossible. It's a bad scene.
Did you try messing with it some?
I did. I got past the first level after staring at it for 15 minutes or something like that, and I was like, you know what? I could be playing Venture right now, and then walked away. I could be playing iRobot right now.
What was your big game? What did you play the most? I know Dave. Major Havoc was yours.
I mean, I didn't really play anything twice except for F-14 Tomcat. That was the only thing I played twice, and I think that's probably the greatest pinball machine ever made.
Yeah.
It's certainly top 3 up there with like High Speed and Black Knight.
Oh yeah, I'd say that if you're the type of person who has a favorite pinball machine,
It was there.
It was probably there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt.
They had Earthshaker, which is the one that I own, and I'm pleased to report that the one that they had was beat up in ways that were different than the way mine is beat up.
I
So-
very jokingly was talking about the Adams
I
Family
was, dude, I
pinball.
was waiting for my
Like-
opening to say, all right, Adam's Family for me.
Yeah, dude, it was totally there,
Yeah?
and it
man.
was crowded.
Really?
Like, it was really hard to get on the Adams Family
Yeah.
machine. The Tomcat machine was hard to get on.
I never saw the Theater of Magic machine not in use.
Yeah, a lot of them were just.
Medieval
that was the only
Madness
bad
was,
thing.
was crazy.
Black Knight 2000 was always really popular.
Does that mean that I'm not some kind of pinball scrub for liking Adam's Family? Is that like
No, it's a
That's a
legitimately
good game,
just,
man.
like highly
It's a good
regarded?
game.
It's a great
Yeah.
pin.
All right. How about, do they have Terminator 2? I seem to remember
Yep.
that one being
Yep,
pretty
they
good.
did. I believe they had Terminator 3 as well,
Yeah.
which is a Stern made.
Ryan's favorite was the Back to the Future that does not include Michael J. Fox's picture.
Yeah, they have a Back to the Future pinball machine where they have the likenesses of everyone on the machine except for Michael J. Fox. So it's just like so the backdrop is basically like the poster. It's
Yeah.
the DeLorean and the fire and the watch, except that it's very clearly not Michael J. Fox standing next to Doc Brown. No, I probably the game I played the most oddly. I'm not sure what ended up drawing me back to it over and over again was the Nintendo arm wrestling game, which is basically an arm wrestling version of Punch Out.
I've seen that, or I've seen something similar.
To the point that Sega made one, and then there's also this Nintendo one, but it's so much like Punch Out that at a point you actually fight Bald Bull. So I played that numerous times to the point that my knuckle on my ring finger on my right hand is still extremely sore from the constant tapping action that's required.
My right index finger knuckle hurts, and I don't really know why.
I got into a little trouble from track and field, which was
the
a very
first game you
It was
played.
like the first. Yeah, it was a horrible idea to play it like real early, and it just killed me.
I was really hoping to run into some people that really wanted to play Blitz 2000 one-on-one.
We do a little hustling.
But they were just, yeah, so I could make a little money. But there were just a bunch of kids there playing it. I ended up getting like one game of that in alone, which felt pointless because like I have a Blitz 99 machine at home that I could just go play, and it's better than Blitz 2000. So
Well, next year, we're packing up your games. We're going to California
that's
Extreme.
right. Check out my busted ass Missile Command. You can still play it. Just don't. I mean, the speakers are blown, but you could still play it.
You'd be able to hear it over everything else.
True.
In that place. God, so loud, so great.
The sitar was that? What was that? An electric
Dude, I don't
sitar?
even
or
know.
something?
I don't. So there was a guy there near the end, and this was kind of like our sign, our cue to leave. There was a guy giving some sort of performance on what looked like a 10-string bass guitar, but he was never like plucking strings or strumming. It was always just like hammer on stuff, and he had like a billion effects on it, so it sounded all otherworldly. And he was just sitting in this corner, hooked up to a PA, giving a little performance. A little crowd formed around him.
If there was a juggler in front of him, it would have made it even better.
Just like
Or
weird.
like a belly dancer.
Yeah.
That's right.
It was bizarre. It was that the whole event was bizarre. But man, yeah, that just right when we first walked in, that moment of like, oh crap, look at all of these machines.
Yeah.
Like that was that was really great. So yeah, big thumbs up I think from all of us.
Fun
California
time.
Extreme, tons of fun.
The Pacific Pinball Expo is the next big thing. October.
going.
October.
And that's at San Rafael. That's in our own backyard. We're
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
October 10, be there. If you missed California Extreme, which if 2010 is anything like 2009, definitely going to have to go back and revisit that. So
Jeff, what are we looking at here?
We're looking at it's a Gallagher game. You know, Gallagher. He was
It's a Laserdisc game.
Stop! Where are you going? It's Gallagher! Stop!
No. Gallagher's in great shape. American Laser Games, makers of fine Laserdisc video game machines.
went from Mad Dog 3 to this.
So at the 7-Eleven, we found these awesome Orange Crush, Strawberry Crush, and 7-Up flavored pound cakes. And now we're going to try the 7-Up flavor.
I figure that's probably the least heinous. It's the least visually offensive.
Kind of just smells like pound cake.
Okay. I'm expecting kind of a lemon lime.
Uh-huh.
Not lemon. That's
No, you definitely won't get lemon. All right, I'm going to break a hunk off myself. Dave, you want some?
I do not want any of this.
Okay.
Wait, is it the 7-Up one?
Yeah.
Yes, I want some 7-Up one. Does it taste like 7-Up?
no.
Does it taste like lemony pound cake?
Like
Yeah,
maybe a
yeah.
little bit.
Okay. It looks consistency. It looks like pound cake.
I can confirm it's
got a
pound cake.
thickness to it. It's spongy. I will.
Maybe break my mouth a little.
This just tastes like regular pound cake.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
smells like pound cake.
This is disappointing,
Yeah.
honestly.
But we have other flavors down there, right?
We do. Should we save those for later?
We can save them for later, but
I don't
Yeah,
want to eat.
probably,
I don't want
yeah.
to eat 3 big
Yeah.
pieces of pound cake right now.
the big great brand of Crush.
There you go. There's 7-Up pound cakes.
7-Up pound cake. You saw it first.
Coming soon. Strawberry and
Giantbomb.com.
orange crush.
Yeah.
Little 4-player football, huh, gentlemen?
Dude, he's kicking my butt.
Just the 2 of you, though. That's a lot of plays.
Yeah, all of, we got five plays, all passing. There's no running in this football.
No running game in 4-player football.
I am holding him. I'm stopping him here. You watch the X's do their thing.
Damn it. Is that an interception?
He's having to make another play.
Vinny killing it.
See if he can complete a pass of this stuff.
Throw it. Oh. Deflected. Coach Snyder, how do you feel about your team performance today out there on the field?
Yeah, we're doing pretty well. It's all about defense. We're a run and gun offense that's about South Coast and it's the Seattle ball.
All right, back to the action.
That's right.
Hey. Oh, is that a completion?
Yep.
That's me.
Oh, that's it.
What? Oh, through my
Oh, did you make it? Oh, did that make it?
Yeah.
Good job. It's hard to tell.
That's what the Seattle offense will do for you. When you're playing in dirt and snow, you gotta. Oh, go for it.
Oh, dude.
It's worth noting, if it doesn't come through in the video, this thing is shaking.
This table?
Yeah. You guys are moving this thing around.
It's all sweat, You gotta play hard to win it at the end, especially when you're playing an Italian.
What is up?
Cut to Coach Snyder
Right.
suspended for racist comments.
Oh, it's a dark time in my career, but we got through it, and I hope, our team has learned together as a family that you can do anything.
I heard you've been talking smack. Can you go offsides here? Jay on my X.
Yeah, offsides.
Oh, crap. I just got suspended.
Is that a yellow card?
Yeah. Icing. Bummer.
There's a flag on the play. I'm told, yep, offside.
Oh,
Damn it. That's it.
no score in this game. It's a dead heat.
It's 1-1. That's completion. That's it for all the marbles.
my God. Oh, no. Oh, finally caught up with him.
It's a big fucking field.
Well, you were down at the end. You were about to get a touchback there.
Oh, man. Oh, Butterhead.
Oh. Try to turn a little bit
Hey,
there.
let's keep moving forward.
Yeah. Forward momentum is key, man.
It's tough. My guys are circles. They don't have hands.
You know, I don't really like the changes they've made in this year's version of the game. It's hampered me as a professional athlete and filing protests with the league.
Great grass, though. Really good grass. Oh, dude.
Vinny, you're that's the end zone right there. Sit for all the marbles. Big play, no pressure. Oh.
That's too bad. Go for the safety. You go in the blitz in.
Coverage. Oh. You gotta push him back.
Vinny, I'm throwing it right at you. I'm telling you right now.
Hold you at the line.
You picked the good defense. You looking at my plays? Oh God.
That's it.
Pushed you back, man.
4th and 10.
Not good.
You gonna kick it or you going? Kick it or stick it? Oh, poor choice.
Get your chance back. My arm hurts very bad.
Are you gonna give up, Snyder? Is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna let the pain
No,
win?
coach. No.
Touchdown!
What?
No.
No. What's that? Did you score?
Do we know what's happened?
I think his score says 9, which I don't know how he would have gotten that. There's been no safety, so. Quarterback sneak? Did a fucking
Point
end around.
conversion. I can't play 10 more minutes of this. Good game. That's it. See how golf.
All right. Vinny Caravella in the mix. Renee. Dave Snyder in the mix.
Face of seriousness.
Yeah, I know. Some guy keeps hitting me. I'm freaking done.
What color are you, Dave?
Nice little white guy, pink, kind of pink and fuchsia.
Okay. Vinny's blue.
Don't ask me what color I am. I'm this
Oh,
guy.
yeah, you're that guy.
You're dark blue. I'm light blue.
Ain't that my car? Who's messing me up?
It's the original.
The game itself is fun to watch, but it's even more fun to watch everyone slapping the shifter all the time.
So is this a tough course?
Dave, would you classify this as championship sprint-like?
Yes, very much, very similar. Gotta throw it down, just spin the wheel, keep it in high the whole time, and just gotta.
That drift around those corners odd.
Hey, watch. Check out my car. Watch this. You on me?
Hey, hold on, I'm on your hand. Oh,
See where I am right now?
yeah.
Check this out.
You just cheat your way through the wall.
What are you talking about? Here, check it out. Watch.
Idiot.
You just gone through the walls? No. I'm jumping the walls.
Wasn't for that white guy.
Probably not really the best strategy.
What are you talking about? I'm cooking. I'm just going to go back.
Yeah, you have a score of 10, Vinny. Leader's got 65.
Got to wiggle your way through. All right. That is fun. That is good time.
Watch, I bet you anything.
Not too bad. Second game, figured it out.
It's good.
Throw it.
Yeah.
Spin it.
You gotta give it a shift as you go through the turn.
You need a guy in the back that's shooting the other cars, though. Makes it more real.
So there you go. There's your quick look at Sprint 8 in arcades now.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Spinny.
Hey, what's going on? We are here at the Santa Clara Convention Center just outside California Extreme 2010. This is an awesome classic arcade and pinball show. Like over 400 machines down there, just a lot of classic stuff from 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. Let's go check it out. Hey, what's going on? We're here at California Extreme 2010, and I'm joined by Mark Bershing. Mark, how you doing, sir?
Good, how are you?
I am excellent. I'm having a time of my life here at the show. Hey, man, free peanuts. So, how long have you been involved in California Extreme?
About 10 years.
Wow. And how long has it been going for at this point?
Number 14. Wow. Number 14. Yes.
So you've been with it for the bulk of the series, then?
That seems that way. I've been to every one. I started volunteering about year 4 or 5.
Do you remember like what the first machine you bought was?
Black Knight 2000.
Wow.
Well,
Starting the show with a showstopper.
it was the second show.
Wow. So how many machines do you own now in total?
About 45.
Wow. Is that what's the peak been for you?
That's it.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the big.
You're at the top.
Unfortunately.
For the folks who haven't been here, who maybe are learning about it for the first time through this, like what is California Extreme all about?
Collector's show. Basically, we take people from all over, bring their machines, their video games, the pinball machines, and some of these other mechanical oddities, and show them off. You come in, pay a cover charge, you can play all day long. We also have speakers that show up on various pinball and video topics. We have a pinball tournament, we had a video tournament. It's just a lot of fun. We have 470 machines this year, so there's a lot of people. I mean, there's plenty of stuff out there, and a lot of stuff that you're not going to see anywhere else because it's prototypes.
Well, I will let you get back to your organizational duties. Mark, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
It's me, huh?
Hey, California Extreme 2010. We're here looking at some pinball machines. I'm joined by, what's your name, man?
Chris Marquette.
Chris, now you are selling LEDs for old pinball machines. Just tell us a little bit about the business and what it is exactly that you're showing off here.
We've developed a line of LEDs, and what it does, you can enhance the look of a pinball machine, make it brighter, more colorful, use less power, so it's better on your power supply, less heat in your game. Really improves the game.
The thing for me that I love about this so much is it makes them like more than real. It's like, this is even better than my memories of these machines when they were at their best. How does that experience feel for you?
I love it. You take a 30-year-old game and make it look up to date and like it's brand new, or even better than it was new.
Let's talk about the Xenon machine specifically. Let's talk a little bit about the history of this machine and what exactly it has taken for you to turn this from an older, kind of faded machine into this glowing HDR nightmare that you have here now.
One of the guys putting on a show here, Mark, it's his personal game. He brought it to the booth for us. We spent like an hour and a half, swapped them out for him. They're plug and play, change them out, and make it look like this.
So literally only an hour and a half work to take it from just regular bulbs into these LEDs.
Yep.
All of these are LEDs except for this one N, which is an original bulb. So you can see just what the difference is in how bright these new lights are. All right, let's crack it open here. Oh wow. Those are some bright bulbs, sir. So you're saying a lot less power consumption, a lot less heat. That's got to be really good as far as just the age on these machines.
This style LED takes a tenth of the power as a conventional bulb, and these take a quarter of the power, and they're much brighter.
Chris, thank you so much for your time.
Hey, thank you.
Hope you enjoy the rest of your show.
Appreciate it.
Hey, we're here at California Extreme 2010. We're here in the, I guess the retailers area, we'll call it?
Vendor row.
Vendor row. I'm here with, what's your name, man?
My name's Tim.
Tim, do you have a business name here? Who you're representing?
Myself, I have a large operation down in San Diego, and we come up here every year and try to sell off some old boards, pinball and video game stuff, and get rid of some inventory.
I see we've got a Naomi board over here.
Yeah, a newer board set that we're not using anymore. Basically, it didn't make any money in our taco shop, so we'll take the guts out and make it something else and try to make some more money.
Is that where arcade machines live now, is taco shops?
Taco shops and hotels, yeah, and movie theaters. That's about it now.
Let's go around the table here. So what's in these manila envelopes?
We have some old pinball machine manuals, schematics that you need if you're going to have to work on this stuff. We got some old joysticks that only work in the older games.
Oh, just look at these buttons. Just look at can I just dig my hands in here? Is that okay? Will I get syphilis?
No, I don't think so.
So many buttons.
Parts you got to have in order to keep the stuff running. So
absolutely. So Tim, we just made our first arcade machine purchase this morning. Bought a NBA Jam machine.
Nice.
Have you got anything here that could help us out?
We got lots of buttons because you're going to be pounding the.
You can swear.
You're going to be pounding the crap out of your butt.
Whoa! I swear, not get crazy with it, Tim. Jeez Christ.
These are night lights that my friend has made out of bumper caps off the pinball machines, and the actual night light is brand new, and the thumper caps we've been buying from another vendor.
And then we've got marquees and backboard art and side art. It keeps going and going and going.
Yeah, we have a little bit of everything. Friday night we had quite a few marquees off of old video games, and we've slowly, we're never going to use them, but they make great wall art. Hang on the wall at home in their game room, and just kind of, give it a good home and send it on its way.
Well, Tim, thank you so much for showing us around here today.
Hi, we're here with Giant Bomb. This is Kip and the maker Lenore. Say something, Lenore.
Hi, I'm Lenore with Eagle Mad Scientist Laboratories.
And how did you think of this game?
Pong is, one of the classic video games, and we had this idea that, what is it based on actually? It's not tennis, it doesn't have arcing balls, it just goes straight across the board. So that seems like a two-dimensional thing without gravity, so we thought pinball. So that's how it came about.
Now, we're here in Santa Clara where the gravity is extra strong. How do you compensate for that?
Extra good players.
Good answer. So we're here with Ryan, who is normally an announcer. Ryan, what do you think of this game?
It's great having kind of the tactical feel of a real kind of pinball, like physical mechanical thing, but then with something so abstract as Pong. Like Pong was just the most basic, simplest of video games. So it is this really interesting kind of anachronistic feeling in the gameplay. It's fun.
Now, when you describe a game, next time, can you please talk with your hands?
Like a little more of this?
That would be great. And the other player is Arden, who is normally a day gigolo. Tell me what you're doing today, gigolo.
What?
All right, what's the score here? Are we keeping score?
It's 1-1.
1-1.
I got that last one.
I think Ryan was cheating, but let's see. All right, here we go. And then Arn, the ball is dying, it's going in the middle, and he's been up, and Ryan's getting excited, using his hands. Oh, and Ryan hits the ball to Gigolo, and oh, he gets a score!
All right, take us home, sir.
Okay, now for the final point, extra solenoid power, and we have a game. Thank you very much. This is from Santa Clara Pinball Convention.
Yeah, you guys still have registration for us. Give me one. I'll be right back.
Oh my God!
Yeah, is it affecting your focus much?
Well, I'm not that good at pinball to start with.
Okay.
But this is definitely an added level of difficulty.
I'm sure talking to a dude with the camera is probably helping too.
Well, I lost. So.
All right.
Now I'm just biking.
Awesome.
Try to play a little Asteroids Deluxe here?
Yeah. Oh, God.
It's
stupid UFO just destroyed the hell out of me. I'm not very good at asteroids. Oh god, oh god. Fin de partie! It's in French right now. Alright, dude, I'm going back to the floor. Alright, I'll see you around. Alright.
I have to apologize right now if I am a less than effusive host at this moment, because shortly before we started recording this podcast, I went and moved 2 big goddamn arcade machines into the office from the streets. And hey, y'all, arcade machines are pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Even when you got like a dolly and some dudes helping you, like,
well, especially when they're 4-player.
Yeah, we got a 4-player and 2-player. We came back with a bounty of riches from this weekend. Myself and Vinny and Jeff and one Dave Snyder from California Extreme,
the most extreme California there is.
That's right, right next to California's Great America.
It's the greatest America they've got.
Seems pretty fitting. Now we're gonna get an email from that.
What?
Calling California the greatest America that there is. It's now people are going to be angry about that.
I'm angry about that.
It's true.
That spider union.
And those spiders can type fast.
Get a lot of legs.
Spiders for America.
That's right.
Spiders for a greater America.
So, Vinny,
Yeah.
how was your weekend?
Oh, it was great. I came back a lot more tired than probably from no fault of California Extreme, probably from our poor eating choices, but just kind of wiped out after that weekend. It was we stayed up until.
Did you eat something weird? What poor eating choices?
Every time I turned around, you guys were posting a picture of another restaurant.
Yeah,
I made a bunch of great eating choices.
China, chili on my dog.
We kicked off with there's a off-brand Bennigan's not far from
a road.
What do you mean off-brand?
I mean, like it's not part of the franchise, but it still has the Bennigan's name, so they don't like have, I guess, full menu options.
I
is my understanding.
I did some reading about Bennigan's after you guys posted the picture of the Bennigan's.
I thought Bennigan's was long gone.
Yeah.
The corporate Bennigan's chain no longer exists.
Okay,
but the
that's
franchise locations are still there. The
Operating
independent
like-
franchises were allowed to keep their licenses after the corporation shut it down.
So there's no oversight on any of these Bennigans?
I believe the corporate ownership was transferred to a new company, which intends to, I think, reopen all of the corporate locations.
Well, Jeff
I
fucked
have
up
that
and got
right.
a Monte Cristo.
Yeah, so
I got
the
fucking
outlawed
Monte Cristo.
Monte Cristo.
Dude.
He had never had a Monte Cristo before, and when he was done, he said, "Never let me order a Monte Cristo again."
Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
Yeah, it is.
It's deep fried. So it's a deep fried club sandwich.
Pretty
Is that-
much.
Yeah.
Doesn't it have jelly in there?
Well, it's jelly is
side.
raspberry preserves served on the side, and a light dusting of powdered sugar.
Yeah. Trusting you to make the best possible choice.
Yeah, for me, the best possible choice was to not use any of the raspberry preserves and just eat the damn sandwich.
Because it is battered and deep fried, and
Yes,
and
sugar just comes on there, right?
Yeah.
There was not a lot of sugar on this one either, though. That was not really an issue. So it didn't taste too much like a dessert mixed with a sandwich. So it was mostly just a sandwich that was deep fried.
Although then we had the idea during the meal of a breakfast Monte Cristo.
Yeah.
How much better that would have been.
You know, bacon
Some
and eggs
eggs.
in there, like deep fried batter, kind of.
That's
Good way to start
And,
your
and
day.
yeah, end your day from the start, from the word go. Not to say that the things that we got at the Bennigan's were much better than the Monte Cristo, but
No, I got some weird, oddly named Poborian burger or something. I don't remember.
I remember you were like, "Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah.
Like, am I
Is
getting
that right?
the local patois correctly for this Bennigan's?"
Oh, it's very good, very good. You've been here before.
You sound like you just speak fluently.
Like a native.
Yeah, so that was all right.
And then we went to
California.
We went to Der Wiener Schnitzel for
Yeah.
dinner
nice.
that night because there was a.
First time for me there.
Yeah, Vinny had not been as an East Coaster, not too familiar with the Der Wiener
I
Schnitzel.
like their chili. I have to put it on things. Yeah, I got a hamburger and a hot dog, and then ate one of your corn dogs. Which
That's right,
I haven't had
yeah.
a corn dog in forever, and those things are like
good.
sweet, sugary. Like the dough is sweeter than I remembered.
So California Extreme.
Yeah, there were video games.
They're also video
It
games.
was
We
not
did
just
just
between this we
not just
ma-
bad
manned
food
up.
decisions.
a food expo.
Yeah, so it was actually a really cool weekend. You guys had talked it up a lot, and it
Right,
delivered.
Jeff and I and Dave had gone last year, just kind of for funsies, and enjoyed ourselves so thoroughly.
Yeah.
And decided, hey, let's drag Vinny along and make him work all weekend.
And it was fun. It was they had about 400. I think they said about 400 machines there.
There was
Over
400 players, yeah.
Yeah,
over
it's just
400.
like this big dark ballroom convention center full of old
Yeah.
arcade games.
And you kind of don't realize it until it'd be cool to look at it from an overhead view, but they like corral you around in weird ways.
It's like an IKEA.
Yeah, it kind of is. Where like, okay, I'm walking through the pinball section, but now I'm in like a cocktail table land, and then you keep going. Oh, Laserdisc aisle, and then like you keep going. Now you're in Vector land.
Someone with hardcore OCD organized that thing of like, no, this is where the space vector games go.
Right.
And you can't cut
the driving
through,
vector
really.
games go over here.
So
It's a different
where
section.
does Time Traveler fit?
And
Laserdisc.
Laserdisc.
It is a
Yeah, I
Laserdisc,
guess it does.
so
That counts.
It's right next to Cliffhanger and Space Ace and
Firefox,
Firefox, Clover
Cliffhanger,
Command,
Cliffhanger, you said.
The Act.
the Act,
Oh, Dragon's Lair?
Dragon's Lair,
Dragon's Lair,
Dragon's Lair 2.
1 and 2. Yeah.
Pretty much any Laserdisc game I could think of. I don't.
They had a weird one there. They had two I'd never heard of. One other Don Bluth one I had never heard of before, and I can't. The name escapes me. And then another one with the name escapes me because I thought I'd seen them all. And I was like, "What is this piece of animation running?"
That is one of the exciting things at California Extreme is, you know, these are all old. Like majority of these are from the 70s and early 80s. You know, they get up into the 90s and aughts as well, but that's definitely like, you know, American made, you know, Bally Midway, Gottlieb, like those kind of names are what you see on a lot of the machines. But you'll still occasionally go and see, like, I have never seen this machine before in my entire life. I have no idea what this game is. So it's like it's old as hell, but it's still completely new to you, and it's
that's cool.
It is a cool experience.
And so
here's this Aztarac machine. I don't know.
So you pay your cover, and it's all free to play.
I was gonna say, people there trying to make money off your quarters or something like that.
No,
That's
no.
cool.
No, it's a lot of it is kind of collectors and owners showing off of like, check out this cool, like, I restored this sweet Donkey Kong machine, and now it looks all pimped out and nice.
And play it.
And come play it, yeah. Absolutely. And I'm not sure if this kind of wisdom holds true for arcade machines, but I know that pinball owners constantly trying to get people to come and play their pinball machines, because if you don't play a pinball machine, like, they actually will deteriorate over time just from disuse. So
gotta keep moving.
Yeah, it's all those damn moving parts, which is why I will not buy a pinball machine.
You want to buy my pinball machine?
Absolutely. How much for it?
$1,000.
I will give you $20 for your Missile Command machine.
Maybe.
No way.
I might actually. No way.
Damn it.
Yeah. So you were Ryan was doing some wheeling and dealing, because
That's
some
like
of the
other
machines are
side
for
of this.
sale.
Yeah, is that there are stickers that are like with price, or like they literally say for sale or not for sale, and that's
OBO.
And sometimes sometimes it'll say for sale, no. Or if we saw one that said for sale, never.
Yeah.
So it's almost like not the dark side underbelly of this, because it's kind of fun, but it's weird.
There's definitely something kind of dark about it, because in some ways they're almost enticing the attendees, like, hey, you could become a part of this. You could own a machine of your own. And it's definitely like, as soon as you own one,
right,
and you go through the process and understand what it means to keep up an arcade machine, like, it's not that high of a hurdle. And then
all those guys know your name, and that's it seems to me that's where the danger, because then it's like, okay, we know this guy and we know what he wants. So if I'm trying to get rid of some machine, or some other guy's trying to get rid of some machine, we can just always refer to, like, hey, this new Jack.
I know this guy.
I know this guy that could maybe take this machine off your hands. So
I won't name names.
I've already got people out there looking for machines for me.
There's definitely, I saw one attendee being hardly initiated hardcore.
No, well, I'm going to say shout out to Job.
Oh man, he was
from Reverb.
He was buying.
He was on a personal quest and a work quest, so he had the double. Although we were basically doing the same thing.
He had to rent a truck, and he had like 4 machines in there by the end of this thing.
What games were on the Reverb wish list?
They wanted a Blitz. Yeah,
they wanted a Blitz machine. I think that was the only thing that
but they did not get a Blitz.
Yeah, they had the only Blitz machine they had there was not great condition. It was was that a 2000?
Yeah, it was a Blitz 2000 with the monitor was not running in the right resolution. I think it was the wrong monitor.
Didn't Blitz run off a hard drive?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it seems like that would be kind of harder to maintain.
It's a big board and
hard drives
hard drive.
fail.
Yeah,
over time.
But they're probably not that hard to replace.
It's also a hard drive.
It's just
right, but you'd have to, if it died, you'd have to
like a quantum fireball or
like get the image again somewhere.
Yeah, that's pretty easy.
200 meg hard drive.
I've got exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Jeff's got it if you need.
I got a Blitz image.
Yeah, let's talk later.
Yeah. No way.
Job was hustling hard. And also enabling me to get out there and
when you guys got to talking, there was like a wild look in their eyes.
Sweat like coming down.
He'd come over and be like, "Hey man, I was just talking to this other guy back here, and he's got this machine, and like slash the price. You just go make an offer. on it.
We're going off site. We're going out to the. We're going to go.
He was
20 miles away.
There's a guy that's got a Donkey Kong Junior cocktail. He wants $350 for it. He's in San Jose.
We're gonna go over there now. See, check this thing out. I was like, dude.
Send me this picture in a newspaper that says it's still, the date on it. It's still alive.
And this is a cat that had not bought an arcade machine before, so he was like starting big.
Yeah. But making good choices. I mean, everything.
He picked up a Bubble Ball machine
choices.
that was in good shape. He picked up that was it Vindicators?
Yeah, I got a Vindicators
for $250 or something stupid.
I don't know if he pulled the
like
trigger on Crystal.
He did. I made him do
Castles,
that.
Yeah, you talked him into that.
I talked him into Crystal. Well, he was like, I don't know if I should.
I remember walking out back to the loading dock and seeing him wrap that thing up, and I was like, oh my god, what is going on? And it was bad because I was walking around with $2,000 cash on me.
It's that kind of
it was just like seeing people buy machines, you start getting that fever of just like,
oh, they're going, they're all going.
I'm gonna get a machine.
Yeah.
I need to get a machine.
I want a machine.
So I thought about there was a Smash TV machine that was labeled at $750, which seemed like more than I really kind of wanted to spend on.
That's high. That's high. Machine. That's high for a Smash
Joe put his
TV.
There's
name on
one.
that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, there's one Smash TV machine on eBay that was like $1,600.
Oh wow!
But eBay is crazy.
The
eBay
worst
prices
place
are terrible for
to
that
look
stuff.
for that stuff. Absolutely.
But
Craigslist, although,
yeah,
you get in some trouble on Craigslist.
Yeah, Craigslist is full of people that somehow inherited a machine somehow and they just want to
Oh,
get
no,
rid
there's-
of the damn thing.
In the Bay Area right now, the dudes that are on there are like there's a guy in Santa Rosa with like a half dozen machines on there.
Like,
There's a guy
what's he got?
He's got a Mortal Kombat 1 for $200.
Is it dedicated?
Yeah.
Is it like dedicated MK1?
Yeah.
200.
All right, stop this podcast.
Pause.
I get it. all right.
At least it looked like it. It looked like
I
it.
got it.
There was a pretty beat up Mortal Kombat machine at the show.
It was an MK2, but it was like you said.
It was like a
converted.
Street Fighter. It's the same cabinet, the Street Fighter cabinet that we got. It's one of those, but converted to run Mortal Kombat 2.
So you could have six buttons still?
Yeah, it still had the 6 buttons on it and stuff. So it was like 2 block buttons,
Yeah.
and it's just like ghetto.
Somehow we wound up with an NBA Jam cabinet for $200. Like,
Yeah,
kinda
no, we
crazy.
picked up. We ended up by the end of day 2. By the end of Sunday, we had picked up an NBA Jam machine for $200 and a what was being displayed as a Willow machine on the floor, like the movie, Val Kilmer. But that was originally a Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition machine. But the dude had a hyper fighting.
Yeah, he had a hyper fighting board in there as well. So he was trying to sell basically hyper fighting and Willow in that cabinet for $545. I think we gave him $5.
I gave him $5 and then gave him some money to then also bring.
Yeah, he also brought the machine.
He brought NBA Jam and
Yeah.
Street Fighter down here, so we didn't have to.
So we did not buy Willow.
So Willow's not in there.
Willow's not in
not
there.
okay.
Willow's not in there. All we have is
Sadly.
Jam and Street Fighter, but I'm pretty happy with what we came up with.
And he delivered both of those machines, which is like, I don't know.
That was
pretty
like,
awesome.
We were
You
looking
can't
at
put a
loading
price
it in the
on
back
that.
of Dave's truck and all that stuff. So I was
We were
pretty sure we were just going to break the machines by loading them up.
And we were so excited when I was able to talk the guy into moving all of our machines. Like, oh, we don't have to worry about that at all now. This is awesome.
We should just go home.
And a nice guy. Delivered them today.
Yeah. Brought them
Very
in
nice.
again, not too long before recording this podcast.
Yeah, those are heavy.
It's we've got a little bit of video up on the site. We have a couple of quick looks from the show floor of Vinny and Dave playing some Sprint 8 and some Atari 4-player football, but only 2 players on the machine.
Yeah, we've got some other stuff, some interviews that
We have some other coverage forthcoming from California
little
Stream.
color.
But it's I don't know, it's kind of an experience that you just have to have. You kind of like we can describe like it's like the biggest, loudest arcade you've ever seen. That with everything set to free play.
It gets crazy after a while. Like after a few hours in there, like I kind of had to go out a lot. Like, just
Get some
kind
air.
of find a quiet spot. It's like,
Is it a lot of people?
Fair amount, but you could get on machines.
Yeah.
Like it was a good balance of like it's busy, so you walk down these huge long rows of machines. Like there are people here fucking playing arcade machines, and it's awesome. But then it's like, oh, if I want to get on this machine, I can wait a minute, or I can. There are so many machines that if someone's on a machine that I want to play, I don't worry about it. I just keep moving, and then I'll go play something else in the meantime, and then I'll loop back around and find it when it is open.
it seemed like it was easier to get on machines this year than it was last year.
You think so?
I don't know.
Well,
if
it was open till 2 a.m.
It was easier for us also because we were there for 2 days.
Yeah, I guess we were there the whole time. Last year we just went for like one part of one day.
Yeah, we just went
really.
for kind of just day trip, but then we got to this year.
This
we got
time I was like, let's get hotel rooms and stay the whole time. It's
and the first
Get a
night, Saturday
vacation
night,
out of it.
Saturday night
Yeah.
they stay open till 2 a.m.
Wow.
Which what was most surprising to me about that was how full the place was when they turned the lights on at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Of like, I figured, okay, by 1 this place will be completely dead. We'll have full run of the place. We can do dumb stuff in here. It'll be awesome. But it wasn't that much less crowded at 2. Than it was during the kind of peak hours, I guess.
Sounds like there may have been a fair number of listeners.
Yeah, Giant Bomb representing pretty hard at California Extreme, which was really good to see. Happy to see that us sitting here and talking about California Extreme got some people to come out and
Get out of the house,
Get out of the house.
play some Targ.
Yeah, I mean it's a volunteer show, so they're not trying to turn profit, and it's a pretty small group of people putting it on. So to be able to have bring some people and have them come to the show and help support it was felt good about that. So
game of show, I'm going to say Cocktail Warlords for me. 4-player.
Yeah, I think that ran away with it. Best new IP.
Yeah,
yeah.
it is,
Warlords.
really good tech in there.
There were some cash games of Warlords going on.
I took some money off you guys playing Warlords.
Bitch. My almost game of the show would be that Tapper machine that
That you almost got.
I almost bought. but then insulted the dude by offering him too low. I don't know. I'm still waiting for.
What, did that just like end negotiations or something?
Oh, so let me
He
tell
refused to.
Let me tell you the whole. I've told this to a few other people, but let me tell you the whole story, Brad. So there were a couple of tapper machines there, and there was one for sale for $800. Now I'm not going to spend $800 on a tapper machine.
I don't blame you.
It's a gorgeous machine, though.
It was a good looking machine.
Yeah,
it was a good looking machine. It it had the taps. It was an original cabinet. It had the side art. It had the little place for you to put your beer on the side of the cabinet. It had the foot rail, which I don't know that I've ever seen a tapper machine, an original tapper machine like that in that good of shape. So it was to see two of them right there, right next to each other, was pretty impressive. But I had, again, talking to Job and all the other like hustler ass arcade owning people, I had come to learn that the guy that owned the tapper machine that was for sale was kind of over the barrel because he had lost his storage space. So he needed to, like, there was a bunch of machines that he had for sale that he, like, needed to get rid of because he did not have space for them anymore. So I thought, all right, well, I don't have a ton of money to spend on a machine, but let me see if I can throw, like, $400 at him. And so I find him on Sunday and offer him $4, and he says, no way. Does not try to negotiate any further, and because I had, like, texted him earlier with the same offer, and I heard nothing back, so I'm like, all right, I'm going to go find him and say it to his face. He said, are you the guy that texted me earlier? I'm like, yeah. He said, yeah, no way.
Damn.
And so I'm like, all right, well, I don't care that much.
Well, you kind of felt bad. Maybe like you're saying to me like, I think I hurt his feelings or something. Like that's the end of that.
I was okay with that, but I also had a feeling that like, well, he still, regardless of him being insulted by my offer, he still does not have that storage space. So he's gonna have to do something. And if no one else offers, and then several hours later, he came back to me or he texted me back, said, I'd take $700 for it. And I countered, but I haven't heard back from him yet. But I still fully expect that this is an ongoing negotiation. So we'll see if by the end of the week I own a tapper machine.
I doubt it.
You don't think so?
I think it's over. Late now.
I think it's over.
We'll see.
Show's over. Those machines are getting packed up, and taken out of there.
That one's got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
By the sound of it.
Well, maybe somebody picks it up.
Leave him in that truck for a little while and see what he can do. But that's got to be a hard thing. It's why I can't get in too deep to collecting arcade machines. I got 3, but at some point you just don't have the space. Yeah. And at some point you're one of those people. It's like, yeah, I got a warehouse space full of arcade machines. Like what? What are you talking about? Like,
I never go down there. I never see them.
Right? Yeah, they're not set up to actually play because there's no floor space there. Yeah, it's so. I don't want to end up like that.
45.
Jeff, we could get that empty building across the street from Gale's. We turn that into an arcade, like our dreams.
You're saying we should open an arcade?
I'm saying we should open an arcade in downtown Petaluma. Okay. We've had this conversation about that building, that space, that old bank that's on the corner, right across from Gale's.
Yeah, the bank on the corner, yeah.
Turn that into an arcade.
Is there still nothing in there?
There's still nothing in there as far as I know. Turn that into an arcade.
Then we could go out of business.
Like all
just
other
arcades. Yeah, you guys should totally do that so I can buy your cabinet and talk to you. I'll give you $400 for that tapper cabinet.
No way.
You put a bar in your arcade. That might be a viable business model.
Yeah, I don't know. Petaluma bars are not doing great these days.
There's already a lot of them.
Wouldn't that be just putting a cabinet in your bar? Isn't that kind of a...
Depends on how many machines are in there.
Gale's already has a cocktail Ms. Pac-Man with speed hack on it, so it's
I'll give you $400.
Let's steal that arcade. Let's steal that.
I've already worked out. We can't talk about this on this podcast because when that machine shows up missing,
I think you've already said too much.
It'll be a shame when it shows up missing. Is what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I agree. No, it's an integral part of the atmosphere of that bar. Anyways,
a cool show.
It was a lot of fun.
A lot of good people.
One of the awesome things, and we saw this at California Extreme last year as well as the Pinball Expo, whenever that was. When was that?
November.
Is that November? Yeah, out there in San Rafael. One of the awesome new trends, I guess new, I mean, I had not seen it before, is dudes have started replacing the old light bulbs from pinball machines with LEDs. And it makes them incredibly bright. It also makes them like pull less power and makes them run cooler. But what's like amazing about it is how much brighter than they had ever been before these machines look, and how vivid it makes all of the art and just like the play field. It's,
are you just talking about the backlighting behind?
No, like any lights, any lights on the board,
so any like bumpers,
like exposed LEDs.
Yeah.
Well, they have like little caps on them. But
there's plastic or colored.
They're protected, but on the backboard, on the play field, and it's crazy because it makes them look brighter than they had ever.
I was going to say
before.
that almost sounds like blinding.
It's awesome.
That many.
It's like the future.
Well, when you open up the backboard, then you get blinded a bit. But once the glass or the plastic's over, it just really brings out all the color from that overlay.
Yeah,
we have
all. Never mind.
We have some video of it. It doesn't play as well in the video as it does when you're there, because when you're there, when I was looking at the stuff with Ryan, I was like, oh yeah, that is really bright. But then you go play the old machine, and it just looks desaturated.
Yeah,
and
just dingy and
yeah. It's like I thought that was supposed to be blue. Like, what is that?
I think I'm going to buy a light kit for my Earthshaker machine.
Oh wow!
And do the lights on it.
The guy did say they're just drop into the slots and
it's not like a wiring job. It's just plug into the old socket.
Yeah, he said that they had a Xenon machine they were showing off that someone had brought in to have done. He said it took him like an hour and a half to do it. So
it was cool for sure.
That was neat. More video forthcoming.
Yeah, there'll definitely be a bigger kind of show floor piece with a bunch of interviews, and we're gonna hold some stuff until we
to a later date.
Yeah, to a later date for
certain purposes.
It's not that exciting, but it's pretty cool.
I know. Well, let's not speak specifically about it so we don't.
And we talked. Ryan talked to that guy. Had some dude grab the microphone and interview. Do an interview for us, which was nice. That just goes to show you the nice people there at California Extreme are willing to do our jobs.
Not a fan, was not familiar with Giant Bomb, just offered to take over interview duties, and I said, sure, I'll go do something else.
Why don't you play? Yeah.
Like, all right.
And it was really fun. It was really eye-opening to see.
Great to see a lot of like dads bringing their kids in there and just kind of like here's what I knew as video games when I was a kid, and cool seeing like kids getting into it,
or at least pretending to. And then after that, going, "Dad, your games are bullshit."
I was sitting next to one dad who was playing Pong, and he was like talking up "Oh, great shot! Like you really got that one." And the kid's like, "Oh, it's like, you're a good bank on that. You got to be careful sometimes because the ball can come off at an odd angle." Just tell a kid want to go play Halo.
yeah.
I want to go play Death Bank.
I'm going to go teabag someone, call him a noob.
No, but it was a great atmosphere, and no fights broke out.
There were no gang fights in this arcade. It was not the world famous Pac-Man
except when
arcade.
that guy picked that main machine.
There was almost violence. There was a raffle, and they were giving away a couple of pinball machines and a couple of vector machines, and like basically what was effectively like
it's like a 10-in-1 or something.
More than that, but it was basically just like an emulation cabinet. And the dude who won the raffle picked the emulation cabinet, and all of like the hardcore collector-y dudes were just pissed. Just like what a fucking waste. Those
really
like those pinball machines like that. What was a Roadshow machine? Those go for like $3,000 easy.
Yeah, something like that.
Those
Monopoly
are
was the other one.
Yeah, Monopoly. That's a
recent
2001 machine.
Yeah.
Or a Tempest machine, or a
or you get a Tempest and a Star Wars machine. Was one of the you can like if you won, you got to choose one of these, and you chose.
And he's like, this looks like all the games.
I can play more games with this one than the other ones. And so I literally heard someone say, "Where is that guy? I want to go punch him in the face."
Which is what we were saying, like jokingly saying, like this someone's going to win the raffle and pick that stupid machine.
I was saying, oh
Vinny was talking like if he won the raffle, that's what I said. I will punch you in the face if you do that.
What was it? A bad one of those?
No.
But
it looked kind of crappy.
But it's not the crowd that's there.
Oh, I totally understand what you're saying, but for somebody who doesn't give a shit about collecting arcade cabinets,
get the fuck out.
Because that's what I was saying. I was like, you know what? I would probably build like a cabinet and put some kind of like main box or something in it to just cycle through all these games. But it's a completely different world where like these are like art pieces or set pieces that you buy.
Do you get what I'm saying now? I feel like because when we were talking about getting arcade machines and all that other stuff down here, people are like, "Oh, let's build a main cabinet." Like, no, that's not.
I mean,
that's not
I would
the point.
I would still do it, but I totally understand the. It's it's like buying a painting or something.
I mean, they are pieces of nostalgia to be coveted because they're rare and old.
It's not so you can flick from Joust to Arkanoid really easily.
Yeah, because I know that it's just running on some software emulating inside what is a personal computer sitting inside a box, not solid state technology, not this old original. Like there's something to the vintage of all that.
Well,
stuff.
there's also I feel like, and maybe it's why the era kind of stops at a certain point. At some point, there was a craftsmanship in the actual cabinet making where they're
Yeah.
all very different. Like
like that Wacko machine.
Yeah,
How about that for crazy?
or even
thing?
those like short kind of little
cabaret machine.
Yeah.
Cabarets, yeah.
And like they're figuring out control schemes. Like nobody really understands what they need to do. Like I'll put a knob on it.
Like,
And
yeah, historically, like seeing like there was a game Shark, where it was just like this big broad panel on this machine with these little tiny buttons on it, and that was like there were 4 buttons. That was basically your directional control, and like there was like a weird toggle switch where you could change difficulty on the fly, and that would change like the level layout. And it was just like, this is made in 1975
like,
before
nobody
said like, this is a joystick, this is what a joystick looks like, this is how a joystick works. It's just like, we're figuring this stuff
or
out.
even the
'cause there's nothing
optics where it's
before
like
us.
I'm gonna put a screen, I'm gonna reflect the screen back onto it like a painted background, and like that's pretty cool. And like, wow, really? And like, all right. And then they figured out that you could just put a color monitor back there, and that's pretty cool too.
It's just they didn't have those before, man.
And there's that weird pinball machine that was reflected up.
Inside was like an arcade cabinet, but had a pinball machine
Varcon?
in it. Varcon.
Varcon.
That was weird.
That game was awesome. It was like inside an arcade or like a stand-up arcade cabinet, but the board was like the actual playfield was down below, but then reflected up vertically, so it looked like the balls were flying up into the air, basically.
Like anti-gravity ball.
And then you used like 2 joysticks to flick the
crazy.
the flippers. It was that game was bananas.
And that's the one that smelled the best to me. That was the musty kind of like dusty tubes heating up.
Oh, you want that burned
Yeah.
dust smell?
My Missile Command machine smells like burning dust every time I flip it on. It's
It just always reminds me of old guitar amps or something. Just like, oh yeah.
It's like, oh, there's some old electronics warming up in here.
But yeah, California Extreme, go next time.
Yeah, 2011, July 9th and 10th are the dates for that. So book your travel now.
Rooms are still available at the Hyatt.
Rooms at the weird smelling Hyatt are still available.
It's the second weirdest.
Did your floor smell weird like that? Because the room didn't smell weird,
Yeah.
but like the hallway and the
Like
fourth
it was
floor
like a
smelled
mix
weird.
of like cherry carpet cleaner and weed.
There were definitely like people getting high on your floor.
Well, I mean, smoke them if you got
Well,
them. Right?
at one point, the room number for 420 had been ripped off the wall and was lying on the floor.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right.
But they were like powder blue the hallways.
Hey, smoke them if you got them.
Yeah, the elevator guy will go down in history as
The hippiest hippie.
Not even going to tell that story. It's just not even worth it. But that's how it ended, with a man saying that to me and Dave, and me and Dave trying not to lose it.
I really want to ask, but I don't want to engage in stereotyping. I want you to paint me a picture of what the typical arcade cabinet collector guy is like.
Really excited.
Fat bald dude with a ponytail,
neck beard, maybe.
Full beard.
Okay.
I don't think.
I really envision him being just like the kind of guy who is.
Neither of the guys that we bought our machines from fit that type.
Yeah.
at all.
Okay. So that's cool.
There were some guys who were like, "Oh, you definitely look
Just
like
real grognard.
Yeah.
Like I picture
tall guys.
I picture.
Oh my
I picture
god,
like
giants!
Really?
literal giants.
Like some of the tallest people I've ever seen, like just walking around.
One of them, Ben, a Giant Bomb fan.
Very tall
It was a
man.
tall gentleman, but he was not even the tallest gentleman I saw.
I felt short a couple of times over the weekend.
It was odd.
Oh, that dude is whoa!
like 7-footers, like crazy, like
big show walking
monster
around.
people.
Spend all that time moving arcade cabinets around. You're going to build up.
That's what we need. That's why they were there. Is that all the guys who own machines had befriended these giant,
like frost giants.
I need these frost giants to move these arcade machines for me.
I just picture a lot of like Linux guy and a ham radio guy.
Some of that.
Kinda, but I don't know. Pretty broad base. It seemed.
Yeah, like kind of diverse. I'd say the thing that it seemed to me throughout the entire thing was just enthusiastic, like super excited
Not
about
a ton of ladies there. And the ladies who were there with dudes.
I actually more ladies.
Pulled by their wrist.
Yeah, no.
I
disagree
disagree
entirely.
too.
I think there was a lot of women there.
Yeah, I would say almost like 15-20%. Like
I would say more than that.
Yeah, there were a lot.
I'd say a good quarter.
Maybe Sunday was a little different than Saturday.
There was a lot
And
of ladies
excited
there. There were a lot of
playing.
ladies playing. There was this one girl who had a skirt on that had that she had put like Pac-Man imagery along the bottom of. Like there were lady nerds there too.
I see you guys are still wearing your Space Invaders wristbands.
Sure,
Sure,
to make it off.
Those are pretty good wristbands.
I ripped mine off last night.
Colorful.
But it still kind of feels like it's on. It's that weird, like you wear it for a couple days, like,
We showered in it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's been showered in a couple times, but it's made of that weird like
It's
fibery-
fashionable.
fibrous-
Yeah,
I'll
that-
keep this on
I-
for a
very
bit.
colorful.
That design would make a great Band-Aid.
Yeah.
I would buy those Band-Aids.
Sure, great stuff for radio here.
Yeah.
Looks like neon colored Space Invaders. There you go. Ba-boom. Anything else to say? I'll say this about California Extreme. This will be my last comment on the show.
Closing thoughts.
What was really great about the whole experience for me was just going to a place where there is that reverence, that true reverence for arcade machines, not just for like the games, but for that era and that culture. And it is kind of a crazy time machine when you first walk in there, of just how complete like all of the things are, and how like this is how I remember this stuff exactly, except way more of it. And everyone that's there is just way into it. And like you could just compare that to the way, arcade machines get treated today. Just, you see them, they're just in some sad corner of a laundromat somewhere, or like your Earthshaker machine sitting in a tattoo parlor.
Like actively on fire.
Yeah. It's like either apathy or, like actively hated or something.
Well, I don't know. We smeared a bunch of butter on it, but it didn't. It doesn't seem to
kill it.
Yeah, it still seems to work.
We sprayed these scrubbing bubbles on this Earthshaker machine.
It was a spider.
It kept coming.
The spider inside of it. So we just put the can in there and then shot the can.
I put a grenade in it.
That Earthshaker machine would probably still survive. You put a grenade in it. That thing is heavy. Carrying a couple arcade machines. They're pretty, arcade machines are pretty heavy. A lot of dense particle board, big heavy CRT monitors. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the contents of those. But pinball machine ain't no joke.
Did you guys see a Xenophobe machine by any chance?
No. There was one there last year.
There's one for sale on Craigslist though.
Oh, really?
Oh, don't tell me that.
I was talking about that.
Yeah, you were.
All
I
show.
saw that. I was thinking about it, and I thought about you, and it's like $300 or something. So
how much was it?
Like $300. We should
What?
Go, we should go look at that. Yeah, it was a 3-player.
Dude, what are you keeping all this information secret?
I just found it out this morning before I left. I was looking at Craigslist and then going like
an ongoing problem.
I should stop looking at Craigslist right now because this is going to go really bad really soon.
You guys get Xenophobe, I'll reconsider that job offer.
I still have to buy that Touchmaster machine. That guy got back to me.
That's right.
After last week, so we will have a Touchmaster machine.
I told Jeff this morning I'm getting ready to sell my car. Just go buy a panel truck just so I can
start shipping
more easily move these arcade machines around.
So do we enable adult mode or not?
On Touchmaster?
Touchmaster, absolutely.
Yeah.
After hours.
Erotic photo touch.
That was the best get from California Extreme that Job picked up.
Oh, yeah.
So there was this. It was a old Data East cabinet, like it used to be a Bad Dudes or a RoboCop machine. It's got like that domed marquee shape to it. Like it's kind of a specific shape to those machines that had at some point in the past been converted into a Tetris machine because it had like the Tetris side art on it, and there was some other name in the marquee.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was. Something nondescriptly arcade game sounding.
Right.
But then what was in there currently was basically like an erotic breakout clone. So like as you knocked the bricks out, there would be like a naked lady or a naked dude back there. And that was and then like, so someone had to like drill new holes to put a paddle in it. So it was corners all busted off. Like you'd see like bare plywood or particle board just on corners. And it was a fucked up looking machine. But it was being sold for $100. And I was looking at it and I was like, man, $100, just,
for a machine that you like, that would be the sort of thing you convert into just about anything because it's already got all these holes drilled. And
right. It's like that would be an okay, like, maybe if I do want to make a main cabinet or whatever. But I didn't get it, and then eventually Joe picked it up for $20.
Wow,
$20 arcade machine.
Jeez,
that's cool. But tell me more about this erotic breakout.
It had boobs.
Were there a lot of?
It also had dongs in it.
Were there a lot of awesome like teased '80s bangs in it?
Well, I mean, it was all drawings. It wasn't real live pictures.
It was very erotic.
Boobs and dongs, but it was a lot of boobs and dongs.
Very erotic.
Sorry.
It was pretty erotic. I can't remember the name of the game itself for the life of me, but
yeah.
Anyways, that was California Extreme.
That was California Extreme. It ruined Game Room for me. Like having seen it.
Yeah. It definitely kind of shows you
Is
that
it because all the avatars were moving and functional?
Yes.
It wasn't like actively
it's
broken.
because
the leaderboards worked.
You finally see that like there are games that just sometimes they're like easier in Game Room. They're easier with a modern controller, but there's a lot of them that's just like you can't emulate this control, like this weird non-standard control that we had in this arcade machine with 2 analog sticks and some buttons. Like it doesn't translate the same.
We're even just playing it in an arcade environment. I don't know, something weird about like seeing like Major Havoc, being played in an arcade with Dave sitting there with the knob and stuff. It's like
I mean, the knob just feels so much different than the analog stick. The analog stick just doesn't work right.
I don't know.
I don't like it at all.
A lot of those, yeah. I mean, a lot of those machines, there's just a lot of weight to just the basic controls. Like if you've got a trackball or a paddle control or something like that.
Warlords.
Yeah, like Warlords is a game. Fuck off on Game Room. It's terrible in Game Room, but as an arcade game, it's amazing.
But they only made a little over 1,200 of those cocktail cabinets, so finding one will not be easy.
I'll be on the lookout. Well, I was on eBay before.
I'm wired in now.
Craigslist.
and now Joe and I are talking about going down to those auctions. So
Oh, man.
let's go. Let's go. I really want to go.
Yeah.
Shoot out.
Like San Jose on the regular, they have these like crazy arcade super auctions where a lot of machines get sold. So,
all right,
capitalism.
We'll talk about this forever.
Okay, that sounds good.
So I was on Craigslist.
Yeah,
and I couldn't find a good joust machine.
Where were you looking?
All
Casual
Bay Area.
corrects.
Yeah. All Bay Area.
Missed connections.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from
I
California.
saw you at
Extreme.
California Extreme.
You on BART station, black shirt. Me.
Ponytail.
Joust machine.
tall.
Yeah. You did like, who was it that was way into Joust 2?
Dave.
Dave was way into Joust 2. I don't like Jousts.
I like
Yeah,
Joust.
I'm not a big joust guy.
I like Joust. I like the sound. The womp, womp, womp.
Yeah.
It's good sound.
Sure, it sounds fun. Vinny, we had a weekend.
Oh, man, did we? I'm sure
Brother.
everybody else had a weekend, too, unless
Yeah.
you really are asleep.
I can't. I don't know for sure.
Can never know. What is the Matrix?
We had one of my more memorable weekends of this year.
Absolutely. I had a damn blast. We've had back-to-back exciting weekends.
Oh, man.
And back-to-back
A common thread.
sliding into the horrible, expensive, damnable addiction of arcade machines.
Terrible, terrible place to be.
Got up nice and bright and early Saturday morning, went and rented a truck. That was our first mistake. Renting a truck. Got ourselves a...
Because as soon as you get the truck, you're like, well, we got to fill
now
the truck.
Yeah, now we're committed. We can't just get
That was
one.
that was like, well, yeah, so let's call these other guys and go look at this retail storefront. And we were just we drove like 130 miles on Saturday in this like 16-foot rented budget diesel truck, which
Liftgate.
was Liftgate. This is key.
Which is scary.
Which Vinny had also probably one of his scariest moments.
This won't
of the
play.
year.
We'll get to it.
All right.
So yeah, first stop.
Went down. I think was he in Hayward?
No.
First one was Hayward.
Maybe. We were in Hayward a couple of times.
We went back and forth through Hayward,
Yeah.
different parts of Hayward.
We were in a community, like a gated little place where we picked up our Xenophobe machine, and it was nice dude. He had like a couple of like 3 machines, and in like a parlor, like back of his garage kind of thing. Like, oh, my little arcade, and we wheeled it out of there, no problem.
No, that was easy. Xenophobes got wheels on the back of the cabinet, so we didn't even
tilted back.
Oh. We had brought a hand truck, but we didn't even need it for that. So that was
So all right, so now we're up to the liftgate part. So the liftgate on the truck, after some like weird transformer folding out stuff, right, sits down on the pavement. And this is not really going to play on the radio so much, but has to go up. I don't know, 4 feet maybe.
Sure.
Yeah, to become flush with the back of the truck.
Yeah.
The thing you don't realize once you get the arcade machine on it and somebody hits the switch to power it up is it fucking tilts forward like as it starts going up.
It's not a rail.
Yeah.
It's not like on a rail on the back. It like folds out from underneath, so the arm is not going true up and down.
So it
kind of
starts
goes
like
out
this
a
on the
little
ground
bit.
and then goes whap.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when you have your 400-pound arcade machine just sitting on
You're
there and
extremely
like,
top
all
heavy.
right, let's go, and it's not analog controls on that thing. It's go or
Yeah,
don't.
it's not like I could feather it or anything. It was just like
It's like, all right, take it slow. And like the thing suddenly just goes like this. And you're like, oh, God, this thing is just about to fall off. So I was standing on it with the dude who sold
Yeah.
it to us, and he was just like, oh. And like we're just holding it. That was scary.
Yeah.
And getting it down was scarier at the end of the day.
Indeed. But then we went. I'd found that a dude had a bunch of machines elsewhere in Hayward, but in like a storefront
We're just
thing.
like trolling for dudes with too many arcade machines.
Pretty much.
Who's selling?
But that guy, like I had a couple of leads on guys who had a bunch of machines, and this guy, it was a storefront thing, and so all the machines were way too expensive.
Really expensive.
It was retail prices. This is not how we've been buying machines. So it was
No.
we're like,
These were all starting in
We
like
did-
the thousands.
Oh.
like $1,000 for a Tempest machine. It's like, get the fuck out of my face with that.
Did see Adam though
for that.
in Hayward.
Yeah, Adam Boys, fan favorite, came out to kick it with us and look at stuff there before they were off to some
wine tasting
thing or something in Alameda. But got to see Adam for a bit and the
That was
family.
fun.
And then while we were getting lunch, got an email back from a dude who had a Joust cocktail for sale, which we had seen one of those at California Extreme. I think it was the first time I had seen one of those.
Yeah.
And it's a very unique looking cocktail machine because it's two players at once, so both players actually sit on the same side, but they're kind of angled towards the screen.
Yeah.
So it's not a traditional cocktail machine. I don't think I'd ever seen a machine that even looked like that before.
Apparently, after buying it, I did some research, and like every arcade cabinet, super rare, right?
Yeah.
But apparently, a lot of them are repurposed because it is a unique cabinet in that the two players are on the same side. So a lot of them are just repurposed to multi-arcade machines because both players are just sitting on the same side. So a lot of them gutted and just turned into whatever, like MAME cabinets or whatever.
Sure.
So that's what I did.
So we had to. So we had to go down to
Punch that guy in the face.
So we had to go down to San Jose for that, and this was, let's say, the other end of the spectrum from our dilettante weekend warrior arcade collector. It was, I have like 3 machines. Like the first guy at his peak had like 5 machines. He said.
Yes, and all just kind of like, yeah, I played this when I was a kid, and I really liked it, and like, I've got
it was the personal collection of I only am getting machines that I have a connection with,
and it's in really good condition. Like, it's not.
Yeah. They had that.
Our Xenophobe does have a little bit of graffiti, which is awesome on the side.
I love it.
I tagged it.
I want to do some restoration on that machine, but I will not. I want to leave that part alone. I feel like that's
something 89 or 86.
86. Yeah, it's like you can't read the rest of it in the end. 86.
So in like silver Sharpie.
Yeah, it's a touch that I actually really enjoy.
Did they make silver Sharpies in '86?
Maybe it could be.
I don't. It could be. Was that game out in
know.
'86? Like, I don't think so. I think that's too early for Xenophobe. It's close because that's like what? That's.
What is Xenophobe?
It's crazy.
For those of us who can't quite remember.
It's a 3-player game that actually splits the screen
wait a
horizontally.
Wait, okay, yeah.
And you play as a duck.
I think it's coming back to me.
Each player can move around the environment independently, and the idea is you just want to clear out like these space stations of aliens.
Yeah.
And I think it's the first game that I can think of that has context-sensitive controls because it's got 2 buttons, and one of them will have a completely different use depending on like what you're standing near. It's like, oh, you're standing over a weapon, you hit that button, you will pick up that weapon.
Yeah,
it's a bizarre looking cabinet.
I think a lot of people encountered it on the NES where it was a 2-player game.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah.
But it's an odd looking cabinet.
Yeah.
And
I haven't been back there to see it yet.
Odd looking game. It's
cool.
There is in fact a duck in it.
Duck man.
There's a man duck.
Howard the Duck.
Taller.
Yeah. Svelte.
Like Daffy kind of.
Man-sized duck.
Like if Captain Kirk had a duck head.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this other guy that we bought the Joust machine from,
he was in deep.
This guy was in deep. This guy had been. We went and talked to him, and he had been showing some stuff at California Extreme. He had the Smash TV machine that was there,
right?
A few other things.
Did he still have the Smash TV?
Yeah, he did, and he said like basically he said like I was asking $750 for it at the show because I just got it. And I really like Smash TV, so I don't really want to sell it right now.
Right, but if somebody's going to give
me $750 for it, I'll take $750 and part with it. So I said, well, let me know when you don't care about Smash TV anymore. we can talk some deals. But paint
me a picture.
This guy had I think he said he had 93 machines on the property. He had 2 full-size shipping containers in his backyard, both full of machines. He had all along like the back of his house, like under the eaves of his house, and like along the patio, packed with machines.
So you guys both know, like when Ryan says shipping containers, these are walk-in, like transatlantic, like top of a boat shipping
like
containers.
Loading docks, gigantic,
like whoa,
packed with machines.
Swings them open. There's bags,
packed
like refugees, like machine refugees.
Like before we got there, he said like, okay, like let me know when you're on your way because I have to like move a bunch of stuff to get to the Joust machine.
Was there a Mrs. on the property? Because that seems like the kind of lifestyle you can only get away with if you're like
I don't know,
hard to
like
tell.
An old bachelor kind of living.
We did not go inside the house because we did not need to. Because all the stuff was outside.
Side yard, kind of like like concrete yard.
Like a driveway, you had like a gated driveway
Yeah.
you could pull into, and then that's where the two big shipping
Yeah,
containers
it's pretty
were
much his
sitting.
driveway.
Yeah.
Like
because the driveway kind of went alongside the house instead of going into a garage. But I guess he had a garage that was also full of machines, and the back of the house was covered in machines.
Yeah.
He had, I will say, conservatively, a 7-foot tall pile of the broken machines and parts that he had to like cannibalize.
he said, some machines got to die,
So
some
that other
machines
machines live.
Others can
Yeah.
live.
So it's just side panels, just stacked.
That was buying and selling these machines. Is that his livelihood?
I don't know.
Like, is that his business?
If it's
Or is
not
that-
his livelihood, it is part of his life.
Yeah, it is. It is
Clearly,
key.
yeah.
It is the passion is there.
Dude knows his
That's-
stuff,
that's
though.
amazing.
He
Like
is,
at one point, he started just kind of like rattling off names of different types of monitors and ones that he would or would not work on, and it was. I'm like just kind of nodding my head, like, oh yeah,
knows his
sure.
way around the
The
machines.
K98,
and
yeah, fuck those.
has a love for him, and
This guy wasn't named Jerry, was he?
No, it was not.
nice guy. And he got up, got that joust machine up and running, and some of the sound is a little messed up, but we'll figure that out. And
Yeah.
he's totally willing to be like, I'll come by, check
It's
it out.
just like
again.
you were saying that maybe the amp is bad.
Yeah,
power supply,
So
there's
yeah,
something with that.
A lot of
the
those
5-volt line to
like a lot of those Midway machines. Yeah, like
So-
had to amplify the sound. And
So there's a I guess they make a conversion kit for the power, so you don't have to use the original power supply. So it's a cleaner
okay.
power supply
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
like $40. He's like, drop that in. It goes in easy. I'll come by and do it if you want.
Because the post purchase support
Yeah.
on the joust machine thus far has been solid.
Yeah, so he had a lot of stuff there. It was really interesting to see from going from California Extreme to where those machines go when they leave.
Right.
And
He had like dog kennels, like chain link dog kennels in the backyard, like something where you keep like 3 or 4 dogs, just full of monitors, just full of like 25-inch arcade monitors.
and he knew all about the lift gate and actually recommended a different gate because he knew the problem with it tilting down. He said, "Oh, a lift gate. Well, yeah, that'll dip on you. You should get the piston lift or whatever it was. Some kind of,
It was the rail lift.
the rail lift.
You, want, you,
Yeah,
you
okay.
have to pay a little more for the rail lift, but it's cleaner, it's safer
Yeah.
for the arcade machines. And
Had his own hand truck with straps.
didn't he
and-
say that he was moving machines to California
Yeah,
Extreme
4
in
at a
his
time.
truck 4 at a time
Yep.
from his place?
But this was actually kind of closer to California
yeah,
Extreme. But
I mean, we were in San Jose, so from Santa Clara, that's pretty close.
But yes, he was. Yeah, like I said before, he had that Smash TV machine there, a couple of other machines.
He had a very clean looking Donkey Kong Jr. machine that we were looking at.
Yeah,
and then it was
Cocktail machine.
and then it was the like he's like, so what else you looking for?
yeah.
It was the dealer thing.
Well, he knew everybody too. It was like,
Oh,
I'll talk to Jerry.
All
He's
the
got it,
all the
yeah.
dudes that I met at
Mhm.
California Extreme, he knew all of them and he knew all of their machines, and yeah, he was wired in. So we're in
I'd like to know how much we could expect to pay for like a dedicated like MK3 cabinet.
Well, we saw it
because we're gonna end up with one of those eventually.
I'll find out.
We saw that there was a 2 at that one place, right?
Yeah, he had a 2.
Oh man, let's
for,
just
like,
get that. That's all we need anyway.
He had a dedicated 2.
Get a 3 and we'll convert it to 2.
Yeah, all right.
He had dedicated 2 for like $800, which
That was at the expensive
That was
place.
that was the
Yeah.
storefront place. But
He also had an Earthshaker machine there.
Oh,
Yeah.
he gave me that guy gave me, I can't remember off the top of my head, but he gave me some names from places that you may want to check out for replacement ramps because I was asking him about
Okay.
that.
How much did he want for his Earthshaker?
I don't know
It's
if that was for
crazy.
sale.
No, it
Yeah,
was.
it
Everything
was not
for
worth
sale. It was
asking.
like
Yeah.
$2,100 or something like
Yeah.
that. So
Okay.
no, don't start buying pinball.
No. I mean, I already have an Earthshaker. I just want to know like what it's
what's
worth
the
in
going?
nice shape. So
His was in nice shape. It was very clean.
yeah.
But so yeah, we loaded up our machines and brought them back
Joust
here.
much easier. Cocktail joust.
sure,
a much easier.
Well, one man can move a cocktail if he's
I don't know
motivated
about that.
enough. If he's
we-
motivated enough to steal it out of the location it's sitting in.
One man with a hand truck could absolutely steal a cocktail machine.
All right.
We had our
Easily.
yellow nylon rope
Yeah.
securing it to the truck. Ryan drove like a champ, drove the truck around, and
Parts of the 880 are kind of scary in that truck because the roads are bumpy and you start getting like this weird bounce going.
Yeah.
So I had to drive very slow during sections of that. But I was just stoked that we bought the machines, we did not break them, and we did not crash the truck into anything, and we did not die.
knock on wood.
No, it's
it
over.
could still happen. The truck is just going to crash through this wall.
It's just gonna Kool-Aid Man into the podcast studio here.
Yeah, and your car and everything was still there when you got back. We parked the car like by the truck.
Kind of a sketchy
yeah,
part of
yeah.
town that we had to pick up the truck in. But
But overall, it was fun. We were sweating gross. Ryan did the bulk of the heavy lifting, so it's just kind of sat back. my wife and took pictures.
Yeah, but you bankrolled it. You're the one with all
I
the
was the
cash.
money. I was the finance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. We
He had to
spent
go to the ATM, and then he had to go up to the counter because the ATM would not give
Yeah,
him enough
I
money.
went to the ATM.
Yeah.
Nope, you can't take out that much money today. I was like, all right, well, I'll take out. No, you can't take out that either. And I finally got to a thing that we both agreed on would be a good number to take out.
You and
then
the ATM?
Yeah, and then it spit me out all 20s. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is like a wad of 20s.
Yeah, yeah.
So I went inside and said, can you change these into hundreds? And also, I want to take out more.
I need more
I
hundreds.
need more. And then I've got a joint savings account with my wife. She was like, you want me to take it out of the... Don't take it out of the joint. This is coming out of my savings account. She'll kill me. Don't...
But yeah,
between you and me.
Yeah, we have some. I'll post some select photos.
We got some photos.
Yeah. Some good pictures got taken of the trip, and of
I'm
the
really happy.
machines.
And you know, it was not inexpensive for that jazz machine. I think it was like $475. But I really like it. I don't know. It's cool.
It's
I like jazz.
I think it's
That's not. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, like,
yeah,
that's not that much money. People paid more for a PlayStation 3 when they came out. You know,
Sure. Yeah.
And this is like a big physical thing.
Yeah.
that I can
it
never
look-
keep anywhere
and it
but
look-
this office.
and it looks awesome.
And when I need to move out of this office, I'll probably have to sell it because it means we're out of a job. Yeah, so it's cool and like it'll be fun to check out, and it's in pretty good shape, and it's got funny lights on the coin panel, which is nice.
Oh, yeah, the front lights up real nice.
Cool.
We need a bezel. We need a cardboard bezel.
I actually emailed the guy and
Nice. Already on the
I
case.
emailed Ted about that and see what.
Oh, you working with Ted?
Yeah, see what Franny
Yeah,
says.
Ted's a good guy.
Yeah.
But then next weekend, there's a warehouse in Pacifica. When I go check out, you laugh. I'm coming back with a Zaxxon machine.
Oh, dude, that listing you showed me, and I don't mean to talk about arcade games the whole time because I'm done.
I do.
I am out of the market. But
That's the thing. I still haven't I have a interest in this Xenophobe machine, but I have not outright bought anything yet.
But the prices on that stuff that you showed me were dirt cheap.
Those are going to be a lot of fixer uppers. We'll see, but that sounds like that's an actual for real warehouse, so that'll be a lot more fun.
Man,
you want to come?
When
Saturday?
Maybe.
Say it's Saturday 9 to 2 or something when the warehouse is open.
Mm.
So down to Pacifica.
You in, Brad?
See if they got an MK machine.
MK2 machine for $200.
I mean, I need. That's the thing is that if I go down or if Vinny goes down, I need someone who can tell if it's any good.
Yeah, we wouldn't know from an MK machine.
Right.
I don't know.
Basically, what you're looking for is something that is the same basic size as that NBA Jam cabinet, but with its shorter control panel on it.
That's about what we saw.
Not a Street Fighter 2 size, not like that Street Fighter
Right,
2
so
cabinet.
bigger,
converted.
like midway.
Yeah. You're looking for one that has
size.
side art on it.
Yes,
basically.
Yes, that's what we saw.
Yeah, that was
then I know
definitely.
what I know what I'm looking out for as far as like that, but
Yeah.
I don't know if there are telltale things about the control panels that you can tell if it's been a conversion, or
Right.
something like that. But we'll see. It's been fun delving into this weird subculture of arcade collectors and meeting all these. I think that's one of the things that I really enjoy about all this is like going out and meeting people.
Yeah.
It's like this can be such an isolating hobby sometimes, especially with the console stuff where it's like he's going to go sit at home and, the most you might do is talk to someone on a headset, get called names.
Well, it definitely bridged this weird gap of like when I was like 8 to like 15, and then a blackout period, and now of when I was younger, you had to go like trade carts or something with an actual person, be like, oh, I'm trading my Zelda cart for elevator action. Like, all right, make the swap. You go. It's like physical, or like I'll give you $5 and these garbage pail kids for your.
I love elevator action, but that's a bad trade.
It's a terrible trade.
The same thing.
That's
hey man, I'm not saying you still can't take advantage of people in that same kind of way. Who knows how much those cabinets are worth?
Yeah.
So it kind of reminded me a little bit of that, of like, oh yeah, you finally have to meet people again, and there's no digital download for an arcade cabinet. Actually, there is, but
Ain't the same.
Ain't the same.
Ain't the same,
You don't
brother.
get the same smells and sights and sounds.
Yeah.
That musty electronic, dusty
Yep.
electronic smell.
Goes
That
a long
jazz
way.
machine really has a good.
Oh, the inside of that thing smells great.
Yeah, like heating up.
Yeah, you can smell the dust burning off the power supply, stuff like that.
Anyway, fun time. Good Saturday.
So-
Carl's Jr.
Tuesday, July the 12th, 2011, and you are listening to the Giant Bombcast. I'm Ryan Davis. Joining me today in the studio with his headphones on, sitting pretty in his proper chair, black shirt, short sleeves, bemused look on his face, Vinny Caravella.
Hi, Ryan Davis.
Hey, how's it going, Vinny?
How you doing?
It's pretty good. Patrick Klebik's here.
Yep. And I own an arcade.
Yep.
I've gone down the rabbit hole.
Yep. Patrick Klebik joining us for his first California Extreme this week, and we'll talk about that shortly. Jeff Gerstmann's here as well.
Yep, that is accurate. 100%.
Accurate, 100%.
100% of me is here.
Hello, I'm also here.
And Brad Shoemaker's here, jumping the gun on his introduction. No, that's good. I like it. Proactive.
Let's do this.
I appreciate that.
Let's talk.
All right, we're doing it. Brad, how you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You did not come with us to California Extreme this weekend.
I played newer video games.
You did.
In my house.
When are you going to buy a cabinet, man?
Where am I going to buy a cabinet? Where am I going to put a cabinet?
It doesn't
Kitchen,
matter.
living room, bathroom.
That's what you figure out later on.
Oh, so you mean like a MAME, like one of those things that'll run like 10,000 games? Like I put one of those...
No, it'll run a game. Or like if you got like a Neo Geo cabinet, maybe it'll run like 6 games.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Or it might not even run at all.
Yeah. Or, most likely it'll sit there untouched and off.
That would be the best kind to get.
I've got 3 of those. They're awesome.
You want to buy a Missile Command machine? Is one of those a Mortal Kombat machine?
No.
That one works?
No, I don't have a Missile Command machine. I'm saying they all work. I just never turn them on.
Okay.
You want to buy a Missile Command machine?
No.
$150.
Nope.
Really?
I don't know. Maybe.
I'll give you $50
that's pre-JAMA, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Very.
That is just the Missile Command machine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you $55 for your Missile Command machine. I will come and get your Missile Command machine for $50.
So what happened at California? Is this what happened at California Extreme?
So for those who don't know, California Extreme is a big classic arcade show in Santa Clara. It happened this past weekend. I was there, Dave Snyder was there, Jeff was there, and Patrick coming for his first year. Jeff, I think you, me, and Dave have gone for the past 3 years running now.
We have the photos to prove it.
And it's we do, or at least the fact that we went to the Bennigan's near the
close enough. You can look at some of those pictures and see the wristbands for California Extreme. I'm sure
that's true.
If you were to CSI it, you'd be able to eventually prove you were there.
You're all enhance.
Yeah,
enhance.
See enhance this area here on his wrist.
Yeah,
that's it. That's California Extreme. Everyone knows that.
Can we clean this up some right here? So 3 years running, and it's a delight. It's just a fun time to go. It's just a big old room full of classic arcade games and pinball machines and
free to play
and everything. Yeah, you pay a general admission to get in, and then everything's set to free play, and you just
well, it's free play, but it's also kind of tricky because some of them have like little wires hanging out where you have to press a button.
Yeah.
So it actually some of them are kind of. It's a game to figure out.
Yeah,
how
you approach the cabinet, and it's like, okay, is there just credits going? Is it just free play? Yeah, because a lot of these machines.
Some of them you have to open it, like take the coin slot, open that up, go find the little switch.
Yeah, go toggle that a bunch of times.
Yeah.
There used to just not be free play options in older games. So yeah, it's either that or provide quarters for everybody, and then everyone will just steal all the quarters.
So last year we picked up a couple of machines at the show, our NBA Jam cabinet and our Street Fighter 2 cabinet that are sitting in the office now.
And then that's what led to the other machines.
Yeah, that ultimately led on to Vinny and I going in on a Xenophobe machine.
Well, you catch a kind of the thing I loved about California Extreme was like everybody there is there because they love the arcade scene, and they're not really there to make money off of anything.
It's a not-for-profit organization. Yeah. Everyone there is volunteers. Everyone that's bringing in games are just collectors that just want to show off stuff to people.
And they're there to sell and sometimes move, but it never feels like they're there to rip people off, right? It feels like it's a community, whatever. So you kind of catch that vibe while you're there and be like, oh man, yeah, this is pretty cool.
It's a feel-good thing.
I always wanted an arcade machine. This is kind of awesome, man.
And finding a big room of people who are so passionate, so excited about this stuff.
And so, like as an adult, when I walked in there and I realized, wow, this could be a reality.
It's totally within reach.
Yeah,
it's like these machines are sitting here.
Like NBA Jam for $200.
Like $200 is like. That's like $0 in a lot of ways.
That might as well be free.
Yeah, it's like I just need to skip lunch a couple of days.
Yeah,
and
what's $200?
You're actually losing money if you don't buy that.
Exactly.
So at that point,
that is where the mind eventually goes, Brad.
So when you cross that threshold, and you're suddenly like,
to get this.
You're like, oh, an arcade machine. Because when you're a kid, it's like you're paying a lot of money to play these.
It's the brass ring, baby.
Yeah.
It's like you have an arcade, Ricky Schroeder style silver spoons. I got a fucking arcade machine in my own house.
Don't take me to the Toy Train Expo because I will buy up that whole place.
Clean out.
So then you walk out, and there's like this world has now opened up to us, and we just went on a tear.
Well, the thing is that everyone knows everyone else. So once you meet one of the guys, then they know. The problem is
it's a small world,
right? And then you are exposed to this vast and intricate network of warehouses like throughout the Bay Area and imagine beyond
where the fighting happens.
But these warehouses where all of these dudes are just storing their arcade machines, because most of these machines are just sitting somewhere unused, 300 days out of the year.
Right, and there's also a limited number of arcade machines because it's not like they're making new ones. So they've all passed around from like these 25 dudes in their collection of like, oh, you've got the Warlords machine now? That's cool. That's great. You've got Johnny,
That's right. Bill's old Warlords machine.
So like Ed bought it from me, and then he traded me Popeye, and then
swapped him that.
Yeah, so like everybody knows each other, and then Ryan, you and I just kind of went post show and picked up.
We picked up the bug, and it was like because what we kept hearing was like it's not here at the show, but this guy that's showing has this warehouse, and he's got that machine, and he's willing to sell it for this much.
And you're 100% correct. There are warehouse listings of like, hey, open warehouse.
Yeah, we have this warehouse that has way too many arcade machines. Come
check them out
and take stuff. Because a lot of the stuff is so old that you can't like put this in a location. Like you might have some ex coin op dudes in the crowd there that might be like putting them in lawn.
No one's getting like a Star Castle machine and putting it in a laundry.
Are you saying they're not commercially viable anymore?
Yes.
Like nobody wants to play them?
Right. Yeah,
it's all nostalgia. It's not like a condition thing.
No, there's very few games that people are going to want to pay to play.
Right.
Yeah, what are you going to pay a quarter in a fucking laundromat?
A quarter has changed.
I might go to a laundromat.
Well, he might have to. He lives in the city.
Okay, right.
But you're going to use that quarter to do your laundry, not to go play Popeye.
Yeah, that's true. It's
Maybe
you put the quarter on a string with some gum, and then you yank it back.
That works.
So you get all these, and I feel like you get this crowd of nostalgia people that are like, I'm going to buy. I don't know where I'm going to put it. Where am I going to put it? In this warehouse. And then I got married, and then my wife is like, you need to get rid of that stupid warehouse, the storage space. And then the dude's at California Extreme being like, I need to get rid of these 5 games I have in a storage place out in Petaluma. And then he's like, here, do you want this NBA Jam machine for $200?
And then you say, yes!
Right, and then it infects the next person.
Right.
Where it's like, now I've got 3 machines that I have nowhere to put, but I got them for like $600.
Take the monkey paw.
that is how the arcade collecting super AIDS gets passed from one person to the next.
Well, it is because once I made the decision to get mine, and I felt really good about it, but then this intense dread, terror, and stress came over me. Like after the elation of like, yes, I'm buying a Bust a Move cabinet for $200. That's great. Fuck, I haven't thought this through. Like I eyeballed it. I think it'll fit through my door, but I can't say there's any 100% certainty. And then if it's Sunday, so if I go back and it can't fit in the door, well, U-Haul's closed, so where am I going to put it? Oh shit!
Just all of these what ifs. Before we get to the end of your story, Patrick, though, let's bring it back to the beginning. You show up Saturday afternoon. Saturday afternoon. You and Katie come in.
Yep.
And she's cruising the floor, playing games. I think the first time I see you. You two are on the Bust a Move cabinet.
Yeah. We have a lot of space in our kitchen, and we aren't going to spend the money to remodel it because we're renting. So we're like, we got to get some sort of theme into this room or something. And we're getting married next year, so like buying an arcade cabinet is kind of a hard sell. But I was like, all right, well, I'll take her down and like I'll kind of feel out like which games she is enjoying, and then maybe I can make her come around. And she loves puzzle games because she's way better at them than I am. So it's crucial that she can kick my ass at a game because it's just not possible in like any sort of modern game level. So she became entranced by this Bust a Move machine, and like I didn't push it. I just let it go. I was like, well, it's $300, and she was like, oh, I thought they were like $1,000. $300 is a lot more reasonable. I was like, all right. It's been late.
There was, and I heard only about this, but there was a late night turn where you guys were again back like so California Extreme goes over the full weekend, and on Saturday night it stays open till like 2 a.m. So it is 2
a.m. I can confirm that. I was there until 2 a.m.
You get this, but it turns at a certain point where it's like during the day it's like a bunch of collectors and families there, and it's this fun, very friendly environment. But at a certain point, the crowd kind of thins and turns, and people have been at the hotel bar for a while or just in their rooms drinking, and then so like this seedy late night kind of vibe starts to kind of set in.
It becomes the arcade that you sort of imagine in your mind, like what it used to be like.
Right.
And then it becomes that with some really questionable smells. And so we're sitting there. We immediately we were going to play a bunch more games. Like I wanted to play it was the Addams Family that had a bike attached to it that you had to be running on in order to keep it going.
Yeah.
But we just were gravitated to the Bust a Move machine. We were drunk, and so then it became much more fun to play because it was a little even mash. She was missing some of her shots, so I was able to get back in. But then we had a bunch of people that were playing, and at some point, someone made the remark, "So Patrick, stop stop fucking around, just get this machine. And Katie goes, yeah, stop making excuses, Klubnik. And I was like, witnesses. She is officially signed on to this endeavor.
And that worm turned at that point.
And so it was 2 a.m. It hadn't been sold yet. It still had the sticker. So I was like, all right, well, this opens at 11. I'll put in some calls in the morning. We'll get this ball rolling in the direction, because I have no experience doing this, so I don't know how to haggle. Like I don't even, like it's $300. It's like I don't know what's reasonable. $275. Like
what's the offer price?
Because everyone was telling me that you don't pay $300. Like, but $300 seems really reasonable.
Right. I thought they were $1,000 too.
Yeah. But I ended up having so you got all these laser discs.
So
this is kind of where our stories start to intermingle.
Indeed. So
it's all so crazy.
Big shout out to Steve Lynn. I just want to say publicly on the air. He's an arcade collector. Showed up at California Extreme. I guess he's shown in years past. Didn't show this year, and is a Giant Bomb fan, and had heard about my Laserdisc collecting exploits, and I guess I'm not sure if he just had these or it sounded like he had picked them up from someone else who was clearing out their collection, and so he got them for next to nothing and was just passing them along to me. But he's like, hey, come meet me at California Extreme, and I'll give you this big old box of Laserdiscs and a bunch of really crazy, awesome, like kind of rare shit. So I was very excited for that. And we talked a bit, and we learned about more kind of shared friends and connections both inside and outside of the games business. But he was very cool about all that. Also, was able to provide Vinny with a soundboard for his Joust
awesome,
cabinet.
Yeah, I haven't tried dropping it in yet, but yeah, thanks so much for giving that to me. Let's go play some Joust after this.
So I'm not sure how. There's another mutual friend that
so basically
hooked you up with him.
So Chris Kohler over at Wired, like I mentioned, hey, I'm looking at this Bust Move machine, and then like I mentioned it over Twitter, and he finally texted me, like, hey, I know this guy. Just text him and say that you're interested in the machine, and he knows all the people, and so I do. I just text to this guy. And all I know his name is Steve Lim. I'm like, okay, and I was like, hey, I'm interested in this Bust Move machine. It's like $300. Like, Kohler told me you know somebody. He's like, yeah. You're not paying $300, but like, just tell me, are you in?
That's it. That's where it's like red pill, blue pill.
We were waiting for you guys to meet us at breakfast. I was like, Katie, are we in? She's like, yeah. So I said yes, and then about an hour later, I get a text that says $200. It's yours. I'll start working on transport, and I'm like, all right, because that's the big thing, right?
Right.
Like
I
had thought about maybe coming to get one, but I just had a Honda Element. Like it's not really made to.
Well, I'd given you all of the pre-warning stuff about, hey, it is the hardest part. Is
right.
It's the reason why people are selling them for cheap is because they are giant pieces of hardware that are a weird shape.
It's like the world's most useless refrigerator,
right?
In a lot of ways,
but way more top heavy and fragile, and just
really awkward to move.
Yeah, extremely awkward to move. Always too wide to get into the doors that you need to get them into. So the moving them is always the nightmare. So I wanted to prep you for that part.
Yeah, so
it was the transport.
So then I met it with Steve, and I was like, hey, so I got cash out, let's go buy it. He's like, I already took care of it. So I gave him the money because he had already again. I'm like, this is weird, but I'm like, this is really nice. Like, this is going very smooth. He's like, I'm gonna start working on transport, but at that point, that's when the dread starts setting in. I'm like, well, what if he can't figure something out? And I'm stuck with this machine sitting on the side of the road. I tried to call U-Haul and I got something set up because I was like, well, it's $200, so if I have to pay $130 for a van, at this point I thought I was going to pay $300.
It's pretty even money.
So I think I'm all right. But I set that up, and then he texts me and he's like, hey, so I found this guy with a pickup truck. I'm like, okay.
Found. What does that even mean?
What does that mean? He's like, well, we can use this pickup truck. We can go to the city. And I'll help you move the arcade cabinet in, and you can just cancel the U-Haul. And I'm like, all right, if this doesn't happen, though, U-Haul closes at 5. We have to load at 6. I'm going to be stuck with this thing. Well, you guys are all leaving. I have no friendly options.
I will tell you this, and this is the out that you didn't know that you had. Thankfully, you didn't need it, but the folks that run California Extreme, and I think in part also the people that run the convention center, are fairly understanding to this situation.
Okay.
And will allow stuff to stay until the next day if you need that extra time to figure how to get the shit out of there.
I would have been a lot less stressed that afternoon if I had known that.
Yeah, so that's a key thing is like, because we went through the same thing last year of buying machines and not having any sort of transport figured out, and then basically getting to the end of the day and going like, fuck, what do we do now? Like, the convention center's closing up, and we have ownership of these 2 machines, and oh god,
we ended up looking out because like one of the machines we bought, the guy had a truck and kind of I guess
we worked out delivery for that one.
with that one, and said like, hey, can you take this other one we got?
Right,
also?
we'll pay you a little more.
Yeah. So we ended up getting him to bring us both of them the next day.
So he was like that. We learned about this, kind of this grace period because he was like, yeah, I'm not even here. I'm going to be coming back tomorrow on Monday to go and actually get the machines. And
well, also imagine those guys that win some of the raffle things are not necessarily prepared to go ship this pinball machine.
Yeah, how the fuck are they going to get that anywhere?
Imagine
these people coming from like far away. Imagine like one guy came from Ireland. Like what if he'd won that raffle? Like what
sell that immediately? You put a sticker on it immediately.
Right, you put a sticker on it that says $600. Just something,
anything at all, please.
Yeah,
Pirates of the Caribbean, stupid anyway.
So the ones that got given away?
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Pinball machine. That's $30,000.
So the great conclusion of the story is that so Steve drives me up in this pickup truck. I thank the guy that I don't know profusely for allowing me to go in his pickup truck with this arcade cabinet. We get it to my place, and as Steve and I are rolling it in,
does it have wheels on the corner?
Wheels on the back.
No, we got
a dolly.
The big dolly, trucking along, angling it. But as we're rolling it into the gate, and fortunately I live on the first floor, it's just like 4 small steps, so it really was not too big of a deal. There was this gaggle, like 15 kids that were like 8, 10 years old, and as I'm rolling this arcade cabinet into my place, and I'm like I feel like this is a sign, because if I had seen this when I was there, because immediately I'll start going, is that an arcade machine? And I was like, yeah, I just bought it. They're like, you can do that? I was like,
I know, kid.
I was like, you can have this too. I don't know what the scene's going to be like in 15 years, but
someday you can live this dream.
What are those cabinets made out of?
Press board.
Yeah, a lot of press board.
So they're not going anywhere. They're not like going to deteriorate over time.
I think they're from what I've seen, they get destroyed to make other cabinets. I've seen a video arcade,
but I'm talking about there's no like
graveyard.
Rot going on or anything like that.
To the material itself,
but the particle board breaks apart.
Does it?
Yeah,
it can.
Every time you move it, you're attesting the tensile strength of the materials.
I think the biggest limiting factor are the CRTs that are just wearing out.
Yeah, CRTs wearing out and not being able to get replacements for those is the number one concern.
I need to get for this Street Fighter machine that we have here. I need to get a new. I guess that's a 19-inch monitor in that thing. We need to get a new monitor or a cap kit. Might work.
A rejuvenator kit.
Yeah.
Get it recapped.
Yeah.
But after buying this, as we're sitting, we got it in, and Katie and I are wrapping our heads around, like we're drinking a beer and looking like there's an arcade cabinet next to us. This is weird.
Did you play a bunch of it?
Oh yeah. So the cabinet I bought it's a Neo Geo machine.
So this is the most exciting part to me, and the part where I feel like Patrick has done this the best out of all of us. Other than Jeff's Blitz cabinet, which he paid nothing for.
I haven't paid anything for any of my machines.
I guess that's true.
Other than upkeep on the pinball machine.
Although you did pay for that Street Fighter cabinet.
I did pay for that.
You didn't pay anything for a Blitz machine?
I won it at E3 by being very good at Blitz.
He had already played a lot of Blitz on the Blitz arcade machine that was in the office. So
yeah.
Because of that kind of helped his chance to win another one. He'd have in his house and never play. So Blitz 99 at Jeff's. But yeah, so Patrick, in addition to only paying $200 for this cabinet, bust and move cabinet, it turns out that it's a standard proper Neo Geo MVS system. You haven't been able to drill out the lock yet.
Yeah,
so you can't get into it yet.
There's no key to open the lock to get into the board. But when I was looking through the debug menu, the way it was listed out, and it said slot 1. Yeah. It's possible that this is a multi-slot machine.
So, but even the one slots still say that.
Okay.
It's just the same BIOS.
Okay,
but it's not even that.
But even if not, the fact that it is,
you can still just
drop in.
Replacing those cartridges is very easy.
Yeah, so. that is. Yeah, there's it's trivial to do that. I'm going
to dig through
which opens up a whole new gate of getting into MVS collection because it's so easy to get those individual cards, and it can be so expensive.
I saw Magical drop for $250.
I was going to say
that's more than my arcade.
You're going to pay more for one card at some point than you paid for the whole cabinet. Because that's the joy.
I spent over $1,000 on a Neo Geo home cartridge.
Is it Mark of the Wolves?
Yeah. So.
You can get the MVS of that for a song.
I had the Dreamcast version, so I didn't really need to play that one much. Probably like 5 times. It's very nice
It was
condition.
like 1,600.
No, that was like 1,200 or something like that. Yeah. But there were some games that I paid like $400 or $500.
But that's for the AES. Like the MVS versions
are
what's the difference?
I'm
so new to this arcade stuff.
It's home cart, like for Neo Geo's home cart versus arcade cart.
Okay.
Just a different.
And it's weird because they're actually identical. Like if you can get adapters to play one on the other, the only difference is the BIOS on the hardware itself is what tells it if it requires quarters or not.
Oh,
so
even with an arcade machine, you can get an adapter for it to play
like a
home cartridge.
Version. Yeah.
But the thing is that home cartridges are generally rarer than arcade carts.
Right. So, the rarities are totally different. Like, it's like Metal Slug 1 is like trivial to own in one format, but over $1,000 in the other, or something like that.
So as long as I don't care.
I own
sometimes, so I might be able to find Magical Drop for cheaper than $250, depending on how it's sort of.
Well, I'm not sure how the
Magical Drop's just rare.
Just rare.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how the adapter situation works for getting home carts into the arcade.
Okay.
I know the other way around is like $300 for something, but. Yeah, I don't know.
This is how it starts.
Anyway, welcome to the wonderful world of arcade ownership. So
happy to be there.
So, Brad,
what game would you?
Brad, I'll tell you this. I actually saw. After the show and looking at Patrick's Hall and cursing him under my breath, I started looking at some local listings and found a pretty decent Neo Geo multi-slot.
It's for $400, right?
Yeah, for like $400, not far from me. And I believe that same guy had a clean looking MK2
You
machine.
were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
But crazy clean.
I already have the board. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I bought an MK2 board like 5 years ago.
So you kind of prepping
like
yourself.
Let's say
That's how it went
honorary
for me
member.
too. Like I bought like an NBA Jam and like Pit Fighter because like Pit Fighter was like $70.
Yeah,
I'm like,
so it was like 50.
What am I doing? Like I should buy this just in case.
In case you ever want to play Pit Fighter.
Actually, I bought it thinking about hooking it up to what's it called, a Super Gun?
Super Gun. Yeah, but the Super Gun we had was not wired up for that resolution of game, I think.
Right. That's why we started getting all that CPS2 shit.
Yeah, because that stuff works.
Yeah.
The CPS2 stuff works. You just need those Capcom kick harnesses to. Anyway.
It's poison, man.
Yeah, I know.
It infects you.
It's the most delicious of poisons.
I think MVS, is probably the holy grail.
Oh, I will say one thing with my machine is that I had originally been looking at a Primal Rage machine that was $500.
Yeah.
And then I played Primal Rage and was like, I don't want to buy this machine anymore. But what's great is that my Bust a Move machine was originally a Primal Rage machine.
Wow.
And still has Primal Rage stickering on it.
That's weird.
So I essentially got a Primal Rage machine.
But it's also got like Neo Geo branding and shit on there
it's gone through a couple
It's got like the button configuration.
But I just love that I had consciously put away the Primal Rage desires, but it came back in just a different form.
You cannot defy the great magnets. Also realizing that the guy who was selling the Primal Rage machine was the same dude that sold Vinny his Joust machine. So.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Same dude.
So what are the MVS carts you go for? Like top 5 most wanted?
I don't know. It depends on the price, really.
Well, so Jeff and I both own a number that if you want to just
I'll just dig them out and bring them in.
What was the one you guys were telling me, the puzzle game with the money?
Money Puzzle Exchanger, which kind of hard to find. Jeff has a copy of it.
Yeah, I bought that in Japan. It ended up costing me a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was worth it. I think that one was like $200, but it was just worth it.
Yeah,
that game's so awesome.
That game is amazing.
It's like anime girls changing money into higher quantities of money. It's a puzzle game.
It's great. It's available. You can get it's one of those PS imports that they do on PlayStation Network.
Oh, really?
Because it came out on the PlayStation 1 in Japan.
Game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Money Idol Exchanger, I think, is what they listed as there. But
that's the Japanese name.
I always knew it as Money Puzzle Exchanger.
Well, yeah. Well, now that Katie, we have this arcade cabinet. She has a theme. She's now going to start turning the kitchen into a bar. So eventually, we're going to get it set up with a whiteboard. So we're going to be doing like Bust Move cash games in my place.
Excellent.
So there will be a welcoming party once that is a little more established, and maybe that's when we'll have the carts brought over and we can see what it does.
So suffice to say, you had fun at California Extreme this weekend.
Oh, I'm exhausted though. That is tiring.
Yeah,
I think me and Dave spent like 5 hours on Saturday sitting by the pool drinking. And it was like midday, like 2 to 8 or something like that.
And while you were doing that, I was sleeping in my hotel room.
Yeah. So that's how I kind of kept it from getting on top of me too much. Was copious breaks for beers.
Oh, I slept a lot. It was so good, though. I didn't regret it at all.
You just disappeared for a long time.
Yeah.
I sent you a text like, "What are you doing for dinner?" And just like nothing for hours.
Well, it's definitely like
something happened to
so
Ryan.
I was awoken by the fireworks going off at Great America at about 10, which 10 p.m. bad time to wake up from a nap. Bad. It's like, oh no, it's super dark and late out, and I'm just waking up all fuzzy-headed. So
I think that was right around the time that me and Dave were finally like, man, we should probably get something to eat. Let's get a hold of Ryan.
Yep. And then it was like, all right, hot dog run. And then after hot dog, I was like, guess what? I'm going right the fuck back to sleep.
That was pretty good.
Like 12 hours of sleep that night. It was amazing. I haven't gotten that much sleep in forever. I loved it. Loved it to death. It was a great weekend. A balcony.
Next weekend, California Sleep Extreme Mattress Convention.
Wait, are you able to share your Twitter story?
What was my Twitter
the
story?
Hyatt.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah.
Can you do that?
I'll share this. Why not?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I guess I really got nothing to lose here. So, the crowd that comes to California Extreme. Oh, it's also worth noting that in the convention center that this was happening in, which was attached to a hotel, and I was staying at that same hotel. Although Jeff, Dave, and Patrick all had to stay at the Hilton across the street because the Hyatt had sold out, which was strange to me. Yeah, I had never seen it book up like that during California Extreme, but I found out a few days in advance that, there's also going to be a Jehovah's Witness convention happening in the convention center at the same time. I was like, okay, well, that's clearly what's filling the place
Very
up.
wildly different crowds.
Yes. The Jehovah's Witness people...
You did not confuse the two.
No, Jehovah's Witness people, well-dressed and didn't smell bad. Everyone's super nice on all sides.
Sure.
But yeah, from an appearance perspective, easy to spot the Jehovah's Witness people and the California Extreme people. Anyway, at one point, I think this was Sunday.
No,
this is Saturday.
It felt like it was a longer period of time, but yes, really everything happened on Saturday.
Yeah, right. You're right. About midday Saturday, went back up to my room, 5th floor. Get off the elevator and am just immediately slammed in the face with the overwhelming smell of pot. Just marijuana smell. I'm like, it might as well be someone blowing it directly into my face. Like that's how strong it is. Like it's right there. It's not like you could smell kind of like the weird perfumey smell of the hotel intermingled with. It's like, no, this is the only smell.
It's coming
here.
through the AC.
Right. Like
someone was hotboxing the 5th floor of this hotel.
Like it has to have been like, you walk out of the elevator lobby into like the floor, and there's the hallway goes left and right from there. And there's maybe 5 or 6 rooms kind of right in that basic area. Like it had to have been one of those rooms because it was just right there in your face.
No towel under the door.
Yeah,
no fabric softener.
Someone didn't know to put the towel under the door and crack the window. It's just amateur hour. Or they just didn't give a fuck. Yeah. It's worth noting this is not the first time that I've experienced this at that Hyatt during California Extreme.
Well, last year it definitely...
Last year had the same thing of when we first walked in and to get our rooms, it was like, oh, hey, California Extreme's happening.
Smoke them if you got them.
Smoke them if you got them, bro.
Yeah.
Definitely the mentality amongst certain convention goers. Anyway... I get back to my room and I thought, hey, I'll tweet about this just to give some folks a little sense of the flavor here at California Extreme. To say, hey, 5th floor of the Hyatt Regency in Santa Clara stinks like marijuana. Good job. Keep good looking out, California Extreme. And then I believe at that point I do nap. And then I wake back up and look at my phone and realize that I have been replied to by. I just want to just pull out my phone so I can just verify the exact verbiage here.
This is the magic of the internet and Twitter and not realizing the consequences of just saying things and people having alerts set up for certain keywords.
It's like I wrote to Apple. At one point I said, I'm here at the Applebee's. It's either this or suicide. And the Applebee's account wrote back to me.
Like, what?
I was like, no, what's wrong? I was just talking shit about Applebee's. That was not the exact message I sent. I was generally talking shit about Applebee's. And he was like, what's wrong with that? Totally oblivious to me. Just going I want to kill myself instead of eat your food. But you're open late.
It's the only out here. This might take too long to find. Oh, here it is. All right. From the account at Hyatt Concierge. At Tazwell, that is horrible. I wanted to let you know I have contacted the MOD and they are sending security up to the 5th floor.
You busted some dude.
I fucking snitched out some people. Oh my god!
Snitches get stitches, motherfucker.
I totally narked out some poor harmless pot smokers. Like not the outcome that I would have wanted at any point.
But it's great because you said like the 5th floor. You gave them the most.
I gave them everything.
What is the MOD?
The manager on duty.
Oh, okay. What are they going to do?
Hey, you know what? I hope nothing happened.
Yeah.
I hope that no one got ejected or, you know, at worst, a stern talking to.
I mean, you can't really. What is he going to sniff it out and find? the room?
You can't pinpoint the room, and then they don't have to answer the door.
Right.
Yeah.
They're probably fine.
Still,
and they were probably not even there at that point.
Whatever, fucking narc.
But still, I effectively narked out.
Narc.
Fucking narc.
Don't tell me anything ever.
Narc.
Because that's what's going to happen.
or at least with no identifying markers.
Hey, Vinny, do you want to do some cocaine later? Don't tell the narc.
Narc. I just kind of want to do that for start tweeting random shit.
I know, yeah, that was the other thought that I had is just start saying,
Man, I'm at the Sheridan and there's fucking white powder all over the floor here. This is 3rd floor. It's kind of fucked up.
I don't know why this naked guy is taking a dump in the middle of the 3rd floor of this Hyatt in Boston, but I'm not very cool with that.
3rd floor of the Nakatomi Plaza. There's bullets everywhere. Just fucked up Twinkie wrappers and shit.
Hey, is there a live raccoon in the lobby of your Holiday Inn?
On the 7th floor room.
That seems kind of weird. Yeah, that's the fun part is when you just start fucking with others.
Right.
Like, I'm on the 4th floor, but I have friends that are up on the 7th floor.
There's just blood oozing out of 712 at the Marriott here on Geary and 7. I'm not really sure what that's about. I'm hungry.
That's right. Couch it in.
Yeah.
Oh, this is just an innocuous whatever tweet. Trolling out there.
Great dinner tonight, but then I got back to discover that the hotel room next to mine is on fire.
There's a trail of toes leading into the supply cabinet. That's
Thanks,
weird.
Crown Regency.
Anybody want lunch?
So yes, that was my unfortunate accidental
discovery. I'd call it really.
Yeah. So just know
Life lesson.
Just know that there are brands watching your every goddamn move on Twitter.
Yeah, that social media is really scary.
Yeah.
Did you reply to it?
It's just like, I mean,
no.
You know, so just Hyatt's out there doing that. Jamie Kennedy's out there doing that. Like it's
dangerous precedent.
Yeah, there was no hashtagging or like adding. Like it wasn't like, hey, I'm trying to get Hyatt's attention over here.
Or it wasn't like at the Hyatt.
No.
Right,
It was just I just typed in Hyatt Regency in Santa Clara, 5th floor. Bring guns.
You know, real nondescript shit.
You think they even looked up?
I definitely unknowingly, unwittingly gave them
right.
overly specific information. In retrospect,
Well, you know what?
In retrospect, that's on me. That's on me.
True. I'll say the silver
I'm
lining.
glad you owned up to that.
Yeah, you know what? I'll take that.
At least they're looking out, though. They're trying to give you the best hotel experience. If that bothered you,
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you know, if you
For
know,
any means
they
necessary.
can't, the Hyatt can't parse out like sarcasm or irony from fucking Twitter. They just have to take all of that.
They're a hotel chain. That's not human.
Exactly.
Must destroy weed smokers.
Johnny, it's not Johnny Hyatt out there looking at the account.
Did anyone check into any rooms under the name Bud Smoka 420 Arcade Kings? If so, that's if he's on the 5th floor, find him.
Just watch it.
Billy Mitchell
out for that other Twitter account that says just smoked out the 7th floor. Oh no!
Just put 2 and 2 together. Find these guys.
Man, I'm just gonna start. My room's real small here at the whatever inn. Man, and my cat farted.
It is, Jeff, you identified it, and correctly so, as the creepy, weird, scary part of social media is the, like, improving your customer service by just publicly bitching about stuff on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't like doing it.
Yeah.
I did it.
Did it work?
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
For what?
I had ordered, like, the Beastie Boys album online and never got any kind of email, anything about whether the order had been processed. And it like got charged by PayPal, but never. They were supposed to immediately send a download code that I never got, and all this stuff. So I waited like 3 weeks, or I waited like a week, and then wrote in and said like, you know, there was an email address on the PayPal receipt that said where to write to. So I wrote to that address, Didn't hear back. This is a company. It's like a fulfillment company that is that it specializes in doing this. And then waited another couple weeks, and then wrote on Twitter, I might have to stop payment, dispute this PayPal charge to company name because they won't respond to my emails about this stuff. And then like 5 minutes later, someone goes, send an email to this address. He'll escalate it for you.
Oh, wow.
And so I wrote to that guy, and then he just kind of wrote back like, that's not our customer service address. You should have filled out this form. And I said, well, the receipt I got from PayPal has this address on it, and then I received a ticket number in response. So if that's not the right address, you were doing a very good job at making it look like it is the right channel for that. And it got taken care of like within like 2 hours after that. And it's just...
Check my cloud score, motherfucker.
Yeah. At some point, I feel like it's just like I'm using whatever follower number I have to bully companies around, and I hate that feeling.
But you got your download code.
But I got my download code. But as I was writing it, I almost didn't send it. Like I wrote it out, just going like, "Oh, here's what I'm doing right now: eating a sandwich, trying to think if I want to stop
my
this
stuff."
Yeah, frustrated. Yes. Like the Twitter message should just say, like, "What's frustrating you right now?" That's what it's really for.
Yeah, we should just all make a Twitter account that's like, bitching at shit that we all just share and everybody follows, and it's like, I'm just going to write a tweet that says like, Comcast fucking sucks. They're charging me way too much.
I don't think they respond anymore because that's what everyone says on Twitter is just nonstop. Fuck Comcast. Those guys are assholes.
How about Xfinity?
Same thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
But how about AT&T?
But I was also writing about how I'm probably going to switch to Comcast pretty soon.
Did they get to you?
Because my current ISP just doesn't have enough speed, and it's like a great local ISP, like they're awesome, but they don't have the speed. And like the CEO of that ISP, like responded and said, "Yeah, you got to go where the bandwidth is. I totally understand. No hard feelings."
Aww.
And I was like, "Yeah." Are you expanding soon? He said, not in your area immediately. So, but
right.
I will go back to them as soon as they offer a high speed service in my area.
They just
don't have it right now. It's funny because this will be the second time I've left this ISP. The first time was because they didn't have dial up numbers in my town, and I was spending like $150 a month calling into their dial up. That's a long time ago.
Yeah. Dial up modems.
So the internet's weird.
Laser discs.
Pepsi has an account, and they write things like asking, like trying to get you to engage with their brand.
I just wonder who follows those accounts. Like I sort of get why they respond to people when they have like keyword searches set up,
right?
But who is following Pepsi?
Yeah, and they're posting stuff like they're trying to engage people. Like, hey, it's summertime. What are you doing to beat the heat? Like, who the fuck's going like, well, Pepsi, I'm trying to stay cool with an ice cold Pepsi.
Hashtag Pepsi.
Yeah.
Fuck you, RC Cola rules.
From the RC Cola account.
That's right. Not drinking Pepsi. It's like some sort of piece of shit. That's what I'm doing.
What are you talking? RC Cola doesn't own computers.
The Coca-Cola Twitter account has like 3 times as many followers as Pepsi. That's how far down this I went like a couple of weeks ago. Just like sitting there staring at this going,
man,
what the fuck?
That's a bummer.
Like when companies sign, like when they post things on Twitter and then sign it with the person's initials who's responding, it'll say like like a caret symbol, say KK.
Who's that?
I don't know. Sometimes sometimes they'll list who it is on some other page somewhere that you're supposed to go care about. And I was like, what?
I kind of feel like I wish I could go to those pages, anyone that's following Pepsi or Coke, and just mass block all of them from ever following me. Like just like eliminate you from the pool of people.
This is an either-or proposition here, people. Either you are following Hamburger Helper on Twitter, or you're following me. That's it.
I might follow Hamburger.
Yeah, I would want to know who's following.
That's the problem. You can't parse it out. Like who's following Coca-Cola ironically.
Right. Neil Hamburger. That's who.
Yeah, Neil Hamburger is sitting there following all of the brands and then taking shit on them every time.
Axe body spray. Assholes.
It's pretty accurate.
You motherfuckers.
Spot on Neil Hamburger impression, both in content and tone.
Thank you.
Be careful.
So just know that it can go the great way that it went for Jeff, that you can get your customer service needs met and you'll feel dirty about it, but at least you got your customer service needs met.
Yeah.
Or it goes my way and you
fucking eat cheese.
Did not mean for those to be your customer service needs, but they got met anyway.
And like the thing I did, the Applebee's thing, I felt kind of bad about it because it just meant someone was sitting there like looking at it going, what can I write back to try and like salvage this potentially disastrous situation?
Because this is my fucking job. Is sitting here and monitoring this Twitter feed.
It's my job, and I can't decide if this guy who is, writing about killing himself in the same breath as Applebee's is kidding or not.
So like, how do I ride that fence?
I got really, and I actually got worried in that situation because I'm just like, man, it wouldn't take much to figure out that I live where I live,
right?
And like work backwards, and like like a manager might appear alongside me and say, like, I understand you're having like, no, fucking get away from me.
It's fine. I'm a piece of shit.
Call a hotline?
Yeah, exactly. So it's just.
Give me some chicken fingers.
You know what you say on the internet.
Actually, you know what? That's the thing. The
man is listening.
This is all really good because you know what this is? This is real world consequences for your internet bullshit.
Yep.
And honestly, we could all use a little bit of that.
Well, like, do you guys get those automated messages, where, like you type about your iPad or something?
Yeah,
and something
yeah. Oh, there's the spam bots.
Yeah, like that's the like. I feel like it's kind of nice when you get a real person who is like just not trying to like spam you with stuff for typing something. So at least I feel like you get all the bullshit, and then you get a real thing that'll happen.
I feel worse because then I feel like I'm wasting a person's time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like every time I've gotten like one or two of those where it's just kind of like the weird thing. Like it never happens when I'm trying to do it. It always happens when I'm not trying to do it. But usually it's for the, I don't know. Usually I feel good about it because it is something. It's never been like I'm going to kill myself and go to Applebee's. It's always like
you're going to kill yourself and then go to Applebee's.
Yeah. First and then
Well, once you kill yourself, you're in hell. So what else are there to do but go to the fucking Applebee's? Eat shit food.
But it's usually guys have some provolone stuffed meatballs that are really.
It's usually because it's like, is anybody having trouble with this router? Blah blah blah. And then sometimes I'll get. I think the one I got was like, yeah, email me. I'm like Linksys or whatever. I was like, yeah, dude, I can't get this to work.
I am Linksys.
I have a Twitter account. Do you follow Pepsi?
I have become sentient. I'm actually just a router sitting in someone's house.
I'm drinking an ice cold at Coca-Cola. Also, it's at Coca-Cola. They don't have Coke, which sucks for them, I bet.
You don't want to know who's got. You don't want to follow at Coke.
Yeah, I do.
That's bad news.
It's hip hop sensation. Juan Cocaine.
That's when you want to just start. Yeah, that's the account you want to troll for free products.
You think RC Cola really has an account? They got to, right?
Greer Beverages. They can set you up.
Lucian Greer himself manning that account.
I'm Lucian Greer. Looky here. If you're going to talk mess about my beverages, then just don't eat at that dim sum restaurant anymore.
Kind of want to.
Oh, but I like that dim sum restaurant.
Then go fuck yourself and get a Greer beverage.
Okay. Fish out a reply from RC Cola. Be like, man, nobody drinks enough at RC Cola these days. Thank you so much.
Where can I find? Hey, I'm in this area. Do you guys know a store where I can find an ice cold at RC Cola?
It's the only thing that'll quench my really thirsty, sandy throat right now.
Thirst.
Summer thirst.
Oh man,
are you looking it up?
I am, and I'm afraid Royal Crown may not.
Crown Royale.
Well, yeah. Crown. If you want to talk to Crown, if you want to talk to Crown Royal,
I do. I talk to Crown Royal all the time.
Goldschlager.
There's two of you bottles here
at Jägermeister. Go fuck yourself.
I'm gonna start collecting marbles because these bags are so nice, Crown Royal.
Or if you have, keep all my 20-sided. I don't play D&D, but
hey, this bag. I just want to. There's like some nuts and bolts or something. Keep it in this bag. This is a nice bag. I'm gonna keep it. Can I attach like a pouch? Can I attach this pouch to like my belt?
Keeping all my weed gear in this sweet at Crown Royal bag here on the 5th floor at the Hyatt Regency in Santa Clara.
I'm a cut person. I keep my smoke bombs in this Crown Royal bag.
Or if you want to talk to the Royal Crown Escorts Service, they're on Twitter.
What?
But.
So, RC Cola or Crown Royal?
It looks like I have hepatitis from Crown Royal.
So you're saying I can register it right now? I better do it before this podcast goes
I'm sure
out.
it's taken. It just may not be a
active
corporate account.
Oh, wait, no. Yeah, Royal Crown Cola is totally on Twitter.
Great.
So there you go.
Ringing endorsement.
Sure could go for some Faygo.
I'm not going to look up Faygo. Fuck you for that.
Anyway, what were we talking about? California Extreme.
California Extreme. I played some Baby Pac-Man. It's half video game, half pinball. It's
that game's amazing.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Because you kind of just like choose to make it a pinball game whenever you wanna. It's like, I'll fuck around up here and you can clear out levels and it's probably, you know, there's some strategy to like whether you're in the video game part or the pinball part as
Well,
far
you
as
have
scoring.
to go to the pinball part to turn on power pellets. Like you have to go complete things on the pinball machine to get power pellets up top. So
that explains a lot.
Yeah.
I only played it the one time.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
It's really crazy.
But yeah, there's just like, there are just tubes at kind of the bottom of the maze where it's like, you go in there and it's like, all right, going down to the pinball table now. And then you just focus down there instead and it's just this weird mini pinball table. So it's got like flippers on the sides and then a joystick in the middle, so you're just constantly like jumping back and forth. Not constantly, but with regularity, jumping back and forth. And it's a bad Pac-Man game up top also, which is kind of weird.
It's not a great pinball machine down below.
No, but I mean, like graphically, like they couldn't get as many colors into whatever the hardware was that they were using. So like the ghosts
are all
have,
one color. They don't have eyes.
Yeah, ghosts are all one color. They don't have eyes. So there's just like a black hole where the eye would be.
Ooh.
Yeah, it looks kind of weird.
It just looks like some crappy home port of Pac-Man.
Oh, it's for Pac-Man for the Atari ST.
Right.
Great.
But it's a Namco release?
No, it's a Midway release.
It's a Midway
Oh,
release.
wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because Midway had the rights in the U.S. to do Pac-Man stuff for a while.
So Baby Pac-Man, that's like Pac-Man and Ms. Pac-Man's child.
Yeah.
But Pac-Man...
But
Baby Pac-Man is young Pac-Man, right? But Pac-Man Jr., that's got to be the child of Pac-Man,
I
right?
think Baby Pac-Man, I think you're asking too much. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if Junior Pac-Man was a Namco game and Baby Pac-Man was Midway.
I like Baby Pac better than Junior Pac-Man.
Yeah, Junior Pac-Man's kind of...
It's too hard. Like, try to keep track of this giant fucking... Because it's Pac-Man. It's Pac-Man.
Okay.
It's Pac-Man. It's Pac-Man.
And who is it?
But it's Pac-Man.
Okay.
So it's Pac-Man. But the maze is bigger than the screen. So when you start like going to the right or the left, like the screen perspective starts scrolling shittily to the side to like show you the part of the screen that you can see. And it's easy to find yourself like on an edge where it's kind of like trying to like jitter back and forth, being like, oh, you're kind of in this frame, but you're kind of starting to go to the right, so I'm going to move a little bit, but then you go back some. So it's,
what are you using to move?
Just joystick.
Okay.
You're mine.
I mean, it's Pac-Man.
Some delicious at RC Cola.
And I like to drink that whenever I'm playing at Pac-Man.
At Baby Pac.
I like Crown Royal and Royal Crown. Mix them together. Get a little something, something.
Wow.
RCCR.
Creedence Clearwater.
Did they have can I replace all my pinball lights with fantastic
Absolutely.
new?
Yeah.
Wow.
They had
super
that Xenon machine was running.
Beautiful. Oh, that looked incredible.
Right, so Patrick hadn't seen this crazy LED technology in practice.
Looks fantastic. I've seen a Xenon machine. I just not, it's just old and busted.
Yeah, you look at that,
and
you're
the lights
like,
are burnt out.
this is like better than real.
It was. I mean, because the way you were describing it to me, like, because it's not the original lights, just replaced. Like they're actually putting in like all brand new things, and it's just really like it stands out, especially in, like all like this dank, dark room that we're all in to see like this bright.
And it's
pinball
next
machine.
to these other machines, which are well taken care of, but they're just using standard incandescent bulbs,
like a Jurassic Park pinball machine.
Yeah, so it's like it has that kind of soft glow to it, and you see Xenon where just it's got these little LED lights for each one, and it's just that
it makes
definition
makes every pinball machine look like Tron.
Yeah. Tron for real. Well, and using Xenon as an example is probably a good, because they also had like
there's an NBA fast break machine that also had LEDs in it that looked very nice.
I didn't see that, but they had that Twilight Zone machine.
Yeah,
that was constant.
Well,
there was the one that was constantly being worked on that had LEDs.
Oh
in
yeah,
it. How old
it was
is that?
only working for like a couple hours.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
It's 95.
Oh, so that's like post amusement park ride, like Tower of Terror.
Oh sure, yeah.
It's like based on that stuff.
No, it's just based on like a variety
straight
of
up like
episodes.
Rod Serling
it's
just on the.
Yeah, it's Rod Serling who's stepping out of a crazy door.
Wow.
On the back plate. No, Twilight Zone. I never actually got to play Twilight Zone because all the Twilight Zone machines were constantly being used. So I was kind of bummed.
And when they're not being used, they're broken because there's a lot of weird moving parts on those things.
Yeah. Which is why I will never buy a Twilight Zone.
Like Twilight Zone, Theater
pinball
Magic,
machine.
like Medieval Madness, like all these
It's the
highly
thing,
intricate, crazy.
I mean, it's the problem is that like the things that I love about I realize boil it down for me. Two things that I need in a pinball machine. I want a lot of ramps. I like a lot of ramps.
Yeah.
And I need easy multi-ball.
Yeah.
Because multi-ball is the best part about playing pinball. Yeah. So the easier it is for me to get to that state, the happier I am with your pinball machine.
The amazing thing you can do as an operator is you can actually make getting multi-ball easier or harder.
Like
on my Earthshaker machine, you can set all kinds of stuff to just like it's just ready to lock balls right out of the gate if you want, and it'll be way easier to do it.
I like that.
Yeah,
guys,
what's up?
I need to know about the Beavis and Butthead game.
Okay, so they've had this cabinet for again the past 3 years of the unreleased Beavis and Butthead Atari prototype, but the past 2 years it has not actually had the Beavis and Butthead game in it.
And one of the ones this year was running a different game.
Yeah. So usually
there were two cabinets.
Yeah, usually there's just the one Beavis and Butthead cabinet that is not running Beavis and Butthead. This year they had two cabinets, one not running Beavis and Butthead, and one totally running Beavis and Butthead. Beavis and Butthead may be the worst arcade game I have ever personally played.
It's not a complete game per se.
It's the best prototype, right?
I mean, it's they built a cabinet around it and put it out like for whatever testing purposes, location test stuff. So arguably, they could have done a lot of work on it, or they said, "Man, we need to do too much work on this, so we're just not going to put it out."
It's a really crappy beat 'em up, but it has a really weird look to it that
kind of hard to describe, kind of singular.
Well, it's got like 2D, it's got like 2D sprites, but you're going down a 3D-ish hallway.
It's like
you're
G.I. Joe
going
up, like G.I. Joe, that. But you're not like locked to the bottom of the screen like G.I. Joe either. You're still walking around the screen.
Pushing the path forward as need be,
or stopping in an area and walking up and down.
But it's like sprites are just scaling.
They're scaling at you.
So everything is constantly
times,
scaling.
Yeah, at times like it almost looks like video, like not good video, but at times it has this something about the way the thing animates. I thought just looked like kind of awesome, but really shitty.
Oh, speaking of which, before I forget, part of my Laserdisc haul was I now own the Laserdisc for Mad Dog McCree. I threw that in last night and just watched Mad Dog McCree for a while.
Wait, is it out of a machine?
Yeah.
Like you can't play
just like a bunch of raw footage, like
it is just you will just watch like all of these scenes of Mad Dog McCree happen on your Laserdisc player.
Wow.
It's way better than playing Mad Dog McCree.
Does it pause or something, or it just
it just kind of goes from one scene into the next, so you can just see the whole narrative of Mad Dog McCree. It's basically like watching the perfect game of Mad Dog McCree.
You see all the like weird divergent paths,
is it like
where you
3
get killed
minutes?
and stuff like that.
I only watched a couple of chapters of it.
Yeah, so does it show you like
you
every
got to see all the
ending?
branches, right?
So again, I didn't get deep enough into it to see how that went, but it was sort of you come into town and then the girl says go do target practice. So you go out to this field where there's posts that got beer bottles on top of them, and you just watch the beer bottles magically appear, and then you hear like the breaking noise as they disappear. It sort of like goes through that, and you're like guys, and it's like you're walking down the street, and a guy hops out and then goes falls to the side, and is really shitty old western death there. Anyway, back to Beavis and Butthead. That is all I have to say about Mad Dog McCree.
Yeah.
Looked like bad video. A weird animation style.
Yeah.
And a bad game.
And just an awful game.
Every stage is like 5 minutes. I beat it. Katie and I played through the whole thing, and it took 15 minutes maybe.
How's the VO?
So it's about as long as Double Dragon. The VO was the real actors and stuff.
Yeah, as Mike
Judge up in there.
Making noises.
Yeah. It felt like a bad Simpsons arcade game.
Yeah.
But like vertically scrolling. And you kept all the end bosses are just like really big fat dudes that are wildly pixelated. And you're like, why am I doing this? Well, it'll be over soon.
The weird sense of everything scaling as you're moving through the environments. Like there's like a 5 pixel gap just kind of created in between these art assets, or I don't know.
Yeah.
It's.
I'm not sure why they went that route. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't know why didn't you just make a side-scrolling beat 'em up?
They want to do something different,
I guess.
Atari pushing the outer limits. Because remember that was Konami's game with all the beat 'em ups. They had that locked up.
When would Beavis and Butthead come out? I guess early
like
90s.
Early to mid 90s.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or was that like 94?
Yeah, I'd say 94 probably.
Was the holographic time traveler game there?
No.
What?
No time traveler.
No Holocene.
Much to Brad Muir from Double Fine's chagrin, no Mr. Deuce Castle.
Yeah, no Mr. Do
No Mr. Do
representation.
at
No
all.
Mortal Kombat. That made me upset.
There was an MK3 machine that was broken.
Yeah, Ultimate MK3.
Yeah.
Right? And they did have someone had a custom built new Mortal Kombat set up that people were
Ed
playing.
Boon was giddy about. He was happy to see
autographed.
that. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Ed Boon came out.
He seemed like he was, according to his Twitter, it seemed like he was having the best time
I
ever.
think he was. I think he was really, really enjoying himself. I think he was getting to see a lot of stuff that you don't see. And Ed has a personal connection to a lot of that stuff. He worked on a ton of pinball games and as well as arcade games that were being shown there. And I think he had said that it had been a really long time since he had seen a full 6-player grid setup.
Oh, that was back there?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Grid always making a big appearance and always pulling in the crowds.
So we played the grid with him.
Yeah.
And he's really fucking good at the grid.
Oh,
I did outscore him in one of our matches.
Did you?
I came
Okay.
in a solid second. I actually had first stolen from me at the last possible second.
He was
but-
like kicking everyone's ass and had like a messed up trackball, like that sort of stuff. Like it was just like he was on a less than perfect machine.
Do you think it's
and
one?
he was
still really
ripping,
good.
ripping people
He
up.
was still really good.
Do you know if is it one guy who's got the entire 6 machines or something? Or
I
is
imagine.
It, they
It has
all
to be,
like
yeah.
you're gonna bring yours, I'll bring mine.
It's because it's always the full 6. It's got to be one dude just owns 6 grid machines.
It's gotta be like, I mean, the last time I saw a grid setup was like GameWorks.
Yeah.
Like, and that was
Right.
the last place to have any of that stuff. So imagine one of those goes out of business. All
Right.
6 of those go up.
Yeah.
That's something where I feel like California Extreme is like you just wait every year for that to break out your grid setup because
where else are you going to have an opportunity to
set it up,
set up your grid machines,
and have that many people come play?
and then actually have anyone give a shit about your goddamn grid machines.
Well, let's look, Steve Lynn, the guy who gave me this and got my arcade machine, was telling when he did his first auction how he got into arcade stuff. Like he saw a Virtual On cabinet, like the full on thing, go for $1 because basically. This guy just wanted, I don't want to have this giant monstrosity anymore. So the $1 was worth their in because it was out of his life.
It's the same logic.
Where are you going to put that?
It's the same logic that applies to why I got a big box of free rare laser discs. Is at some point the space is worth more than the media, and it's just this big box.
And most of those movies are available in much easier formats.
Sure, and I can
now.
probably have all of California Extreme on my fucking iPad here. Majority of it as far as the the actual software that's being run there. So it's like, I have all of this physical shit for what is a pretty tiny piece of content.
Well, and there was a guy that on the second day, just woke up, decided he wanted out. And just went down and put a bunch of stuff that wasn't for sale, like in the Miss Pac-Man machine.
He's just I'm just going to sell all my machines.
Like he just snapped.
How liberating to walk out of that thing free and clear. No fucking
drive home with an empty truck.
Yeah,
this
like 200-pound machines.
That happens every year. Is on Sunday, some people are just like, I just don't want to fucking bother with getting all these machines back into the truck, drive them down to the warehouse, get them out of the truck. The warehouse is so packed that I have to move half of the shit out to get this shit into it.
I never play this.
Yeah, I never touch any of these machines. I should just fucking sell all this stuff. Obviously, what it seems like what happens, and it's so easy to see the path. Is okay. You find some machine you find Bust a Move for $200.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, there's this one machine that I really want. All right, I love this game. It's got big personal memory for me. It's just attachment to it. Blah blah blah. So that's the machine that I want, right? But in your hunt for that machine, you keep coming upon it's like a fucking episode of Law and Order where the guy's like, well, I don't have that machine. I haven't seen that in a while, but I've got one of these for $200.
Yeah, Bust a Move wasn't the machine I wanted. It was just the one that made the most sense. And I settled on it. But it's I could see how in the path to getting to Bubble Bobble, which is what I would want, or a Pac-Man, or a cocktail machine, wow, it's $200.
Sort of
it's
$50 for this. I'm already here. I've got the truck. It seems like that's the path.
Yeah.
Is the collector who's I love this one machine, and so that's the one I care about.
And
So I have,
a warehouse.
but then I have 20 others around it that I don't really give a shit about, but I've picked up through trades, or someone just didn't want it, or whatever, or I thought I was going to pull the monitor out of this and use it as a spare, or blah blah blah. And that's how
it's always a list of I was going to do this but did this.
Right.
It seems like, and then suddenly they have a warehouse.
And they're big enough where if one small thing changes in your life, you suddenly have no room for something. It's well, I used to have a great house, and then I got this other job, and I had to move down here, and now I've got a smaller house, and now I'm paying so much for this warehouse space, and I'm never going to play these again. I never played them when they were out.
Yeah.
And so then, I feel like it just transfers to somebody else whose life is in a different spot, where it's well, now my life is here, and I can own too many arcade machines till I need to move.
I haven't turned on any of my machines since Christmas. It was because some people were out and hanging out, and they're like, yeah, it's play some pinball. All right, sure. Go
$50
ahead.
moved.
I feel like
Command.
I would go for 3 arcade machines in my life. Like I think
other than the one that you are, or the 1.5 that you already own.
Yeah, no, like 3 total. Like that's it. Don't ask me what they.
Okay, I thought you were going to list like what your 3 were.
No. Like 3 and like that's it. I think having a good puzzle game is good.
Well, that's why I got mine was because it was 2 players.
Yeah.
Like it's a competitive game. Like, and then also the fact that I can swap the carts. It's like I don't have space for any other ones. But like if I'm gonna get one, this seems like a good starter. I don't have to buy a whole new machine. I can just buy a cart.
Did anyone see Job on Sunday?
No, I saw him on Saturday night, and he had a wild-eyed look to him that was frightening.
Last I heard, he may have been on a bed,
passed out.
Yeah, in our intern's room.
No, I saw him on Sunday, so he's alive.
You saw him on Sunday?
Yeah, I didn't talk to him.
So I didn't see him at all on Sunday, and I was a little worried.
Yeah. I know he was partying with our interns, apparently, which I don't recommend.
And there was talks of Goldschlager.
I was going to say, don't try and drink with Ben. Like that's
I ran into him, and I could tell that he had some drinks, but like didn't faze him.
Yeah,
and he was just like, "Hey,
hey, man, still on top of things."
Yeah,
okay, good.
Whereas like the 4 like dudes around him were faded.
There was one guy in particular. I won't call him out, but he was just
on one.
Yeah. And he kept bragging about like how much he'd been drinking. I was like, you're at that point, man. The point where you're talking about how much you drank.
I had 6 beers, and then we got 4 shots, and then there's like full on enumeration mode.
I'm feeling it. I think I'm feeling it.
I get like that sometimes. I still get like that.
I was going to say though, like intern Ben as your drinking partner, like that's the fucking worst possible.
Don't go 1-on-1.
Yeah, you can't.
As long as you're not. Yeah, as long as you're not trying to match him.
You can't punch for punch that guy.
That guy's got 10 pints of blood. He's not. He's got more than you.
Yeah, there's 2 of you.
Yeah, inside him.
Just mass wise, it's not even like a.
Yeah. It's just physics, man.
Science.
You could be sitting on your own shoulders right now.
He sweats out most of the alcohol before it even reaches his brain because it's like he's so tall.
He once ate an entire cow.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
The long legends of Ben. Yeah. Anyway,
he's like 6'8", 7.
Now I'm going to buy another arcade machine.
6'8", 6'9". He's taller. He's taller than Greg Rice.
He's getting near 7. I know that.
That's a feat.
Someday
he'll be 7 feet tall. He's a tall dude.
Then we'll have a real giant.
Yeah, is that what you want?
Yeah.
Oh, forget these arcade machines. I want to own my real own giant.
We'll just use him to embiggen our videos.
I'm going the Gax.
Giant Extreme?
Yeah. Anyway,
that's where you find all these sweet giants.
We keep talking about this.
People wanted to have giants, and
are you starting to
figure
open
the warehouse?
You starting to figure out which one you want?
You got a warehouse full of giants.
I'm sorry,
don't know what to do with them.
They cost so much to feed.
I think the like socially acceptable term is big people.
I've seen the dark side of owning too many big people.
Yeah,
we've gone down that route. It's dark.
It's slippery slope.
But yeah, the longer we talk about this, the more I'm feeling like I'm going to start hitting eBay and
like I said, it was I hadn't done it since like last year.
And once you figure out that people are selling stuff on Craigslist, it's hard not to look when you're just like.
And that was the problem. That was what started our post California Extreme.
That people are doing it.
Well, then so then this year I get home Sunday, so California Extreme's still going on. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to, after watching Patrick and having his glorious run with his Bust a Move machine, I'm like, all right, let's go see what's up on Craigslist. And like half of those listings were like, yeah, I'm going to be at CAX this weekend, so if you are here, these are some of the machines that I have. So it's
missed connections, man.
Yeah.
Saw you.
I just want to get that monitor fixed on that Street Fighter machine and do some minor work to that, and then we'll see what happens.
That's all you want, but that's not all that's going to happen.
Because I'm going to have to get that monitor off to buy a whole other machine.
Your desires of how this is going to work out.
Yeah. That's the dark side.
No bearing.
I feel like that's the part that you and I saw of the cannibalism, arcade cannibalism.
Yeah, the marquee and the border art on that thing are so ugly.
Yeah.
We're going to swap that out.
Yeah, that's kind of easy.
That's repros.
Yeah.
Like you don't even necessarily have to cannibalize. Like so much of the stuff is being like people are refurbishing and rebuilding these machines.
Yeah, like I need to buy like a new like button set and stuff. Like, I mean, I need to do a lot of cosmetic work on my thing and get, like, side art at some point.
Yeah, like finding reprints of side art and finding remakes of marquee art for kind of big games aren't that hard to find. It's stuff that's
for big games. When you just get the originals, it's not even remakes.
Sure.
Maybe I'll just like turn it into a Primal Rage machine on the outside that just happens to have Neo Geo games.
It's
on
that
the
damn
inside.
CRT.
It's that damn CRT is the hardest part because it's just. It's the thing that
just to find it or to replace it as a pain in the
they're
ass?
around. I think it's just you just gotta.
They're expensive, I think. I think they're getting harder and harder.
Someday they're just going to be all gone,
if
right?
people are selling whole cabinets for $200, how much could a monitor be?
But that's the thing is that then people are buying those $200 cabinets just for the monitors. Like when we bought that NBA Jam machine, there was another guy who said like, yeah, if no one else picks this up, I'm going to get it just for the monitor because. Yeah. That monitor is worth $200 to me,
right? Because you have to find one no burn in.
Yeah.
It's not faded out,
and they're not making them anymore. It's just straight up. There's a finite number of
what happens when they're all gone.
arcade quality CRTs out there.
Yeah.
There's no solution to that.
Yeah, I wonder how if it's possible to hook an LCD up to it, if that's even like an option.
I mean, eventually there has to be some way.
It may not be easy, but there is a way.
I mean, you could basically just hook a super gun up in the middle of that process and hook whatever monitor you want up top. But
I'm sure once we reach that point, but that's something that
frequency conversion.
The arcade people, arcade purists, are just going to fight as hard as they can for.
Well, that's the thing. I mean,
last year there was a Joust machine that had an LCD in it. That was kind of an experiment.
Like once you're outputting to a modern screen, why have a cabinet at all? Like you've already sullied the
integrity of the experience.
Yeah, like
I don't know. I think
you're right. I think you're right. I think that the quality of that screen, is so key to like how those games look. Like you start showing it with no
that nice
scan lines,
none
of that corner bending, none of that blur. Yeah, the phosphor glow. Like you get none of that stuff. Like just all you see is just like the raw output of the board.
The thing they added to MAME over the last couple of months here is like they've had scan lines all along.
Yeah,
but they actually are now using GPUs to you can bend the corners.
Okay,
and, like just pin cushion it and. Desaturate the image in weird ways if you want.
So there will be solutions to
people
these
like you that are ruining baseball.
I mean, Final Fight Double Impact had a good mode for that.
And a lot of stuff like that too. Yeah.
Fine, don't buy an arcade machine.
I actually really like the way old games look on LCDs because I actually like seeing
too crisp
every single pixel.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
But at that point, like I said, just skip the footprint of a cabinet.
Well, the original controls I think are part of what's nice about that stuff.
And standing up.
Yeah. There's a certain experience to it. Like I think that is lost when you sit on a couch with a controller and you have achievements and it just changes.
Putting your beer on top of it, hoping it doesn't fall.
Yeah.
There were no stickers on that Tapper machine this year.
Nothing. Can you drink on the show floor?
No.
Yeah.
I was though.
Yeah. I mean,
like you just
no, but
what were you drinking?
The rest of my Budweiser, red, white, and blue.
Straight up just walking around.
Yeah. I made sure that Katie was holding it because like they're not gonna tell a female to put her beer down.
Just too excited to see a female.
Like what are they gonna do? So I just
because it's you're right around the corner from the hotel bar, which is just right there.
Like if you were holding it, they would say like no, but there weren't like people patrolling and plus like I was very careful about it too because like you look at these things like these are people's I didn't go anywhere near a pinball machine. I didn't I wasn't putting. I was like these are people's babies in some respects. Yeah, and I want to treat it with respect. I mean, there was one pinball machine that someone apparently brought their hands too hard down on the glass and the glass just shattered.
Oh,
so like they had to spend a whole afternoon picking the glass out and. Yeah, I mean you can imagine how that would happen, but and there's a lot of kids there, people that don't necessarily know that you're supposed to be fragile.
So having the blanket rule of no drinks or food on the floor makes sense.
Oh, certainly.
But it's an all volunteers thing, so they only have so much manpower, but it's growing. Like it was busier this year than it's been in years past.
I saw a lot of people on Twitter saying,
a lot of Giant Bomb
they
fans.
were there.
Yeah,
a lot of whiskey.
Huge number of Giant Bomb fans there. So we thank everyone who came up to us and gave us a shout.
Everyone was super super kind, very nice.
Bunch of very nice folks there. Although it was weird when I'm standing next to Ed Boon and dude walks up to me like, "This is Ed Boon. This guy made Mortal Kombat, like all of them."
I'm just some dude.
I'm just this dude that's talking to Ed Boon. What do you fucking care? Come on.